How's everybody doing tonight? This is Moe Factz Late Night Live, October 8th, 2021, episode HBCU Later. And I'm riding tonight with my man, Young Grump. As a lot of you already caught me when I come on his channel and we do lives. We haven't done one in a while, so I thought this would be a good chance. You want to say what's up, Grump?
Yeah, let me go ahead and do a little.
All right.
Shouts out to Moe Factz for putting me on with that soundboard. What's going on, y'all? It's, a pleasure to be on this platform with Moe Factz and, a lot of intellectual property he's bringing in tonight. That's all.
So I'm going to speak to a few people while the live fill up because we got the notification out a little later than I like to. But let's see. We got Greg in the house, Carlton Way 1. We had Tasha was in here early. She was in here early. She said, not HBCU later. Yes, we got to talk about it. Ben Ellis, Greg E, Judy S, of course. Judy S is always in the house.
Yeah, shout out Judy. Yeah, she's very persistent, She supports, for a consistent supporter. Shouts out to her.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cook DW 1969 said in the morning. Greg E again. Oh, we got Black Light. What's up, bro? We got some things in the works with Rob as well. That's Rob, if you don't know, from Black Light Revelations 2. He also be riding with the man TD Hip Hop Media. So it's good to see you in the house. Kobe, it's filling up pretty fast now. Fernando, Sean M, CT, Hamtard, Derek 405, Face to Screen, always up in here. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about it. Let me go ahead and bring it up on the screen right quick. Strolling to the poorhouse. I don't know if you all follow me on Twitter or not. And as a matter of fact, let me do this first and foremost. Let me do this. Let me drop Young Grump's link to his channel in the live chat, so you can know where to find him at. It's right there. I don't know why I didn't hyperlink, but that's the link. Yeah. So this tweet went out. TD did. I gotta post his link to his video. If you want all the facts and figures as TD does, you know what I'm saying, he has all the receipts. Let's go ahead and put that in the live chat as well. And all this will be pinned. If it doesn't work in the live chat, I'll put these links in later as well. But TD did the work, and he went ahead and blessed us with all the facts and figures behind this story. But the short and long of it is these HBCUs kind of got gypped in the Biden Build Back Better plan. So we're gonna talk about that, like I said. But let's let some more people get in here. Fernando, I stop at Sean M, CT. I think we stopped at Face to the Screen. Judy S. Yep. Persistent, consistent. Yep. Always. I know Andrea in here somewhere. I know she is. Let me see if she show up. Connor, how you doing? William Hawthorne, how you doing? Mars. Scott Bennett. Yeah, hopefully it will be another great show. There she is, Andrea. I knew she was in here somewhere. Her and Judy S. They like Thelma and Louise in the live chat. You know what I'm saying? They be here every time. Not in that way, but you know what I'm saying. Like they tag team. All right, Tim, what's up? Oh, we're gonna get to the 30 billion, and I was wrong. It wasn't 30 billion. I'll stand corrected. We're gonna get to the details of it. Hey, I appreciate your Black Light for saying doing the promo in live chat. That is value. We did miss our man Deep Impressions, because he's normally heavy with the value for value on the promotion in the live chat. I know he also on your channel as well, Grunt, right? I think your mic. Hold on, something with your mic, Grunt. Your mic. They're trying to shut Grump down, so let's let him get that straight right quick and go back to it. Bet just subbed. I appreciate that. Fernando on point with Gorilla Mainframe. Yep. appreciate that as well. We had a ball on Wednesday night. Got a lot of good feedback for that. Seemed like people saying we had a ball when we were doing that live stream. As always, I like to have fun. I like to be a little, jokey on serious topics so we don't get all doomy and gloomy. Because we can't let the stuff get us down. But at the same time, we can use it as learning experience. All right. Yeah, always with open ears. Appreciate that. Sophisticated eating, always in the house as well. All of y'all are my day ones, but it's certain people I just remember from like when you only have like 3 or 4 people or 10 people in your live chat, you remember those names even more imprinted in your head. But I appreciate everybody being here. What's up, Mario? Scam Baiter. NZ Pretty. I know this person from Twitter. Pretty. NZ, please correct me on that. Greetings from the Caribbeans. Got the Caribbean brothers and sisters in here. Theodore NYC. That's another early subscriber as well. Yeah, CC, Judy S, and Audrey. They the tag team. They gonna be in the live chat getting it lit. I appreciate that. Dub said, okay, we can discuss that, Dub. I appreciate it. Great show. Greetings to everyone in the chat. I think we caught up. Let's see if Grump came back. Let me get him added back in. How you sounding?
I should sound good. My dang voice mod on program had crashed. The one with the sound effects. Everything good though right now?
Yeah, everything. You good. I was just talking about Deep Impression, how we miss him. And that goes to show you we appreciate each and every one of you.
Yes, sir.
And the value that you bring. I love the likes. I love the subscribes. I love the comments that everybody put in. It was heavy with the likes and comments on the last video. And that's the way you can help us with engaging the algorithm, because that's what it's all about. If you engage the algorithm, you help spread that word to other people as well. So, so we miss shout out to Deep Impression wherever you're at, brother. I know you're doing something, you working or whatever else, but we appreciate everything that you do and everybody else as well. As I stated before, this is a value for value platform. I do not take any money from YouTube. I'm supported by the people. So you can find the links at the top of the live chat. Did we lose Grump again? Grump, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just seeing the vocal range in my microphone to see if I was kind of too loud.
Now you good. Y'all let Mike check on Grump just to see if he's too loud or too low. Y'all let us know.
And then when I muted,
we start getting in, the first about 5-10 minutes anyway, we spend just meeting and greeting, just like getting to speak to everybody. Andrea said, let me see what you said, Andrea. How you been keeping up with Dr. Shiva? I have not been keeping up with Dr. Shiva. To be honest with you, with the Koof situation with the Rona, I dive in and out of it because it can get so doomy that, I mean, which is when I just need to get an update or something, I start looking at it and then I just kind of let it fall back to the back of my mind. So what's up, Janae? How you doing? Janae always in the house as well. Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Y'all let me know if I missed anybody. Rob 3000. Lindsay 8, she's always in the house as well. Shay 0, of course. Yep. Shazier, she spoiler alert, Shazier. Spoiler alert in the morning as well. All right, so so I guess we all heard about it. I made this post back on the 5th, and I got a lot of smoke off of it, girl, on Twitter. Of course, I used the hashtag HBCU and Biden. And that invited a whole another side of Twitter to my my feed, my profile. So before we get started, I know you were covering this story. I mean, not really covering it, but you were following it. What did you take away from it? Because I always like just to see what people took away from the media story, just from the headlines or whatever.
All right, from the headlines, when I first saw it, it was like, my first reaction was like, okay, dang, they really showing their true colors. Like they just did the cutoff on the funds like that. And then I had read the articles and I got into it and I was like, oh, but still, it's like on the face value of it, it's like it's a letdown, kind of like broken promises. And it was some people in the comments too, on Twitter and on Instagram that was trying to what's that word?
Cape.
Cape, yeah, Cape. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Cape. You're right.
I mean, I didn't lead the witness. I'm sorry. What was you gonna say? I had to put a little dig in there though.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was. I was trying to find that word. It was like that. I was trying to save them and trying to like speak for them as they're a representative of them. And I was like, oh, okay.
Well, speaking of caping, so I posted this. This, if you don't know, this one picture is from the ladies of the Divine Nine sororities back during this 2020 election. They were strolling to the poll. They were going to do whatever they had to do to get Joe Biden in there. And then this tweet came out. And like I said, I just saw the tweet. I saw the numbers. I had saw TDs, and I just posted this just, for the headline, really. Because a lot of news TD was early on the story, early. So a lot of news hadn't came out about it. And boy, did they come for me. Let me see. We had some people, you know what I'm saying, that was pro with it. But then, some people say, you remember this. Remember they clowned this pig. And we're going to get in that of the two, how the two things were perceived. Yep. Rod tried to start the trouble in the live chat already. But then we had some people up here, you know what I'm saying, let me see what she said. I want to insult your intelligence by suggesting that you really believe what you just said. Of course, I mean, and that's what they do. They try to have those little snarky comments. Somebody said Biden proposed $55 billion. Congress negotiated it down to $30 billion. Seems like standard Washington behavior. And that wasn't accurate, but then somebody called me a flat out liar. Just flat out. Somebody said not what I heard, and they went on to post some other things about what they heard. But then, I had to come back with the receipts. And let me see, it was some more interesting stuff in here. Somebody said Moe don't know facts. I get that. I had to receipt check him. But trust me, you know what I'm saying? When you come from me on social media, hey, I already know what the hell I'm talking about before I start talking about it. And the thing was, the reason why I used that tweet said 30 billion, I was trying to let them off the hook by a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So, then somebody said, why are you sharing lies? And this guy right here, man, he a straight up cam bot. I mean, whatever Kamala does, says, he just eats it up like you're saying, like it's vanilla ice cream or something.
So that's not your first time. That's not your first time encountering him.
No, I think I've encountered him before, going back through some of his tweets. So, okay. But I went in to check out his profile, and everything is just like chucks and pearls, and what they mean by that is her Chuck Taylors that she liked to wear, which is nothing but symbolism. Like how she tried to come out with the Timbs. That's how she tried
came
to come
out with the Timbs.
Oh, you didn't see that?
No, I saw her with the Sandlot Chuck Taylors on.
She done had the Timbs on too. Hold on, let's go. Let me just fact check myself. Hold on.
Timbs.
Doing it live, folks.
She brought back down. Go ahead.
There she is. Bam.
Oh no, them New York people ain't gonna rock with that, man. Turbo ain't gonna like that. They not gonna like that right there.
Man. And she got the little army, got the 9 army jacket lining. You know what I'm saying? Like she Esco or somebody. Come on, got the Timbs on. But this is the level to the pandering that we see with this administration, that they can just throw out the Chucks, they can throw out the Timbs. Sooner or later, she probably gonna have some black A1s on next, Grump.
Oh yeah, them NBA young boy, they ain't gonna accept that. I'm surprised New York wasn't upset about them Timbs right there. They take that as a religion. You don't play with that.
Yeah. So hold on, let's get back to because I know we may have missed some people coming in. Let's see, make sure I haven't missed anybody. Somebody said they feel like 90% of Twitter is hate bots. I believe a good percentage of it is. We've seen what had came out with Facebook, and we see what they're doing with that. But let's just go ahead and get into the facts. I was wrong. It wasn't 30 million. It was 43 million. You know what I'm saying? So they did a $43 million cut. And of course I had to be me. And I had to go back and hit them, you know what I'm saying, on social media. And like, this is what social media meant for, is just to be fun. You know, just to clown around with people, not take it seriously. So I said 45 billion minus 2 billion equals 43 billion. I stand corrected. You know what I'm saying? I quoted the article here that we understand that we referencing from the Newsweek. So I got some clips. Grump, was that pretty much what you got out of it as well?
Yes, sir. So far, that's what I had got out of it too.
So people was like, well, and then they try to come back with like, well, they didn't say they were going to get 45 billion, blah, 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 blah. But it says right here, historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, that were looking forward to 45 billion in funding may be faced with just 2 billion under the Biden administration multi-trillion dollar spending plan, a result of the Democratic infighting, the Associated Press reported. Where it saying? It says the $3.5 trillion, just to put that in perspective, 1 trillion is 1,000 billions. So we're talking about 3,500 billions, and they only got 2 out of it. Just to put those numbers in perspective. But we all know math is racist. But yeah, it was said the bill was set to include 45 billion for HBCUs and other minority serving institutions, but the newest iteration of the bill allots only 2 billion for educational programs and infrastructure of HBCUs. So that's the main takeaway, that they took a big cut from what they were expecting.
And Mo, I could say something real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
They said some of that funding was for competitive too. You know, like you had to compete to get, for some of the students at them HBCUs had to compete to receive that funding out of that 2 billion. Also, actually, that's what I had read upon.
And that's true. They had to compete for the funds, and that's the thing that we've seen all these other groups just get things handed their way, and now it's like, oh, now you have to repeat. You know what I'm saying? What happened? Did something happen? I see sound checks. Just make sure the sound in here. I can hear.
I hear it on my phone. Yeah, so I think they got refreshed. Some of them got refreshed the page. All right.
But Zudeka, she always gonna kill me for killing her name, but y'all have to go check out her artwork. Amazing artwork. I'm gonna give her a plug while we at it. She said they set the president with Obama and established we can't speak against him and are using the same playbook with her. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right, but not the case, because we're gonna make sure we call it out. There's a reason for that. So you want to get into some clips right quick, and then we chop it up afterwards.
Yeah, however you want to take it, brother.
Okay.
However you want to do it.
Okay, so this is the first news clip, and this is let me stop sharing right quick. So this is Biden HBCU funding proposal falls from 45 billion to 22 billion. Then this is a local news clip.
Federal funding for historically black colleges and universities is now dwindling. Our Rachel Riley is live on Southern University's campus tonight. Rachel, how are people there responding to this news?
Carly, many people who walk the campuses of Southern University and other universities like it, they say it's very disappointing news. However, some say there may be hope.
Fortunately, I wasn't shocked. This is traditionally what happens.
President Joe Biden's 45.
Hold on. Wait. Is something going on here? It seems like it's lagging. Are we good, Grump?
The sound quality was good, but it's just a little lag with the visuals. That's what it was.
Oh, that's what it
For
was. Okay.
HBCU
Yeah.
funding was reviewed by
Let
lawmakers.
me rewind back. This is the lower expectations right here.
There may be hope.
Fortunately, I wasn't shocked. This is traditionally what happens.
So he said, fortunately, I wasn't shocked. How did huh? This is what normally happens. What do you take away from that statement, Grunt?
It was already like you foreshadowing a broken promise. That's not, that's not considered like, good business. That's not even healthy right there.
But then he put the word in fortunately. Fortunately, I wasn't shocked. I don't know how it works with everybody else, but when somebody owed me money or told me they're gonna, we're in a negotiation, and in the negotiation they had offered me a set amount of money. I'm not gonna, if I hear something that's against that, I'm not gonna say, oh, fortunately, I wasn't shocked that you was gonna let me down, because it's normally how it goes. That seems like some Stockholm syndrome.
Oh yeah, I mean, okay, yeah, that's a good way to put it. From that perspective, yeah, I agree there.
Like you was just expecting it. So Judy S, let's see what she says. Judy S says, so he expected crumbs instead of what was promised. Is this the victim? She hit it right on the head. Well, the victim mentality. This is the victim mentality. This is the another name for that would be Stockholm syndrome, where the victims get used to the abuse they receive. So let's go ahead and finish up this clip right quick.
President Joe Biden's $45 billion proposal for HBCU funding was reviewed by lawmakers and cut to $2 billion. NAACP representative and Southern professor Jarrett Luter says HBCUs need as much funding as possible.
I don't know what's going on with the lag here, but I apologize for that, folks. But you know what I'm saying? It's not on my end.
You paused it?
Yeah, I paused it.
Okay, I about to say
the visuals is lagging the audio. I don't know why, but I mean, let's just push through it as long as you can hear what they're saying.
That funding is not just for the university, but it's for the benefit of the student.
Although money was cut, Dillard University President Dr. Walter Kimbrough says this is actually something they can work with.
Maybe you get 2 or 3 billion, but if we normally get $1 billion a year and I get 3 or 4, that's a big increase. And so I have to look at it like that, and not as, some people just like, oh, it's a loss and he failed. I want somebody who's going for something big for me. And so I'm
Huh? Once again, if your boss tell you, hey, we're looking at giving you a raise, Grump, we're going to bump you up 15%. And then when you get your check, it's only 5%. Are you going to be like, well, at least they gave me 5%?
Yeah, that's good. Like how Judy called earlier, it's like that. And like how you said, Stockholm syndrome and that victim mentality, it's like it becomes the norm. That's mind blowing now since I look at it like that.
But I guess my question to you is, if I promise you as your boss and you working for me, I'm like, Grump, I think we're going to be able to give you 15%. And you get your check and it's only 5%. Are you going to just be happy with the 5%? Or are you going to be like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened to my 15%?
Yeah, exactly. You expect for me to be like, what happened to my other 10%? But this is from conditioning also too. Like, I believe, like, how far they could stretch the envelope. Because this is this ain't out the blue where you're going to be like, okay, we're going to do this to y'all. This is like, many times and sessions of, conditioning to individuals to think like that. And that's crazy.
And what's frustrating is, I mean, let's just clear out where I'm at with this. And a lot of people that were, saying, I don't know, Grump, you really into politics or not. I'm into the sense of politics we don't vote unless we get something tangible. Tangible being the preference would be reparations. And a lot of people were saying that around this last election, that if we don't get something tangible, if we don't get reparations or get something, something that we could actually be delivered, then we're not going to vote. And other people like, you got to believe, you got to have faith. You know saying? You just got to believe. And it's like, we've done this, like you were saying, being conditioned over 40, 50, 60 years of this kind of behavior, and they still fall for the same thing. So now it's like we had to hold those same people that were ridiculing us and allowed us to be attacked. When I say us, the people to just say, you know what, we need to trade our vote for something in exchange, just instead of just empty promises. You know, we were shamed and ridiculed and all the kind of different things, very bad names called. But now it's like, we're not going to come back at them the same way. I'm just speaking for myself, hopefully their eyes will be open to how this game works, and you got to get your promises made up front. So that's why I'm covering this topic. Are we clear?
Yes, sir. We're definitely clear about that. That's that kind of actually make me think about Stockholm syndrome, like for real, because it's like you're defending the oppressor, and the people who are trying to help you, like, bank tellers at, banks that are being robbed, they actually, people who trying to help them or open their eyes, they like block them off. It's a defense mechanism. That's crazy.
So Janae said, it sounds like someone going to sell a car, ask for a higher dollar amount so you are sure to get a fraction of that price. I can see it from the aspect too. Emmanuel said, I was warning people last year about how Biden administration was going to do the black community dirty. I was called everything but a child of God. And that's the whole point of
that's crazy.
The kind of abuse that we took. You heard different iterations of B1, you heard tangibles, you heard these other things. And they even said that if people and this was on a MSNBC, a international news station, that if you hear people ask for reparation or tangibles, they were possibly bots. More than likely bots is the terms they use. More than likely bots, and working for Russia.
I'm gonna tell you what, it just blew my mind when this may be a little off topic, but when Biden himself was on the Breakfast Club and he was like, "If you don't vote for me, you're not." And I already saw them games right there. I was like, wow, it's beyond me, because I'm saying that because of that comment that Emmanuel had just made. Mm-hmm. You get ridiculed by a good portion of your community and the people who are trying to be in position of power, and that is mind blowing. That right there, it's fascinating. I'm just appalled off it though.
And that's what Rob said. He said, yeah, they say we were Russian bots. Allegedly intelligent whites at Harvard said this, right? And it was, you're saying a lot of quote unquote black people, so-called black people, was carrying that narrative, and even shamed us for saying that if you ain't black, the you ain't black statement was like, what is that about? They were like, shut up, shut up, you're gonna ruin his chances. No, at least we got Kamala in there. We're gonna get to Kamala in a second, but let's go ahead and let this gentleman finish up with his statement.
Appreciative of that.
U.S. Representative Troy Carter is in favor for more funding, but says it may be tough.
From my perspective, I'd love it to be the larger number, but I'm realistic that in order to compromise and get it done, we may have to settle for something a little less than what would be perfect in the hearts and minds of many.
HBCUs are already underfunded in comparison to other universities.
We didn't have the leverage to be able to get in and vote for things that would benefit us.
Hold on, he said we didn't have hold on, let me run that back again. They be saying crazy. A lot in these statements, and somebody said you looking dapper tonight. That was Chase. He said you looking dapper tonight, Grump. Yeah,
is that Dapper Dan? That's what he's trying to relate to?
Dapper is like, that's where that term comes from, dapper. Not from Dapper Dan, but that's why Dapper Dan uses that term, means looking fresh. You're looking fresh.
I appreciate it. Yeah, y'all schooling me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you know, y'all can't see mine though. You know what I'm saying? I got the 3-piece suit on with the. Nah, I'll mess with y'all. I got a champion hoodie and some slides on.
I heard a lot though in the past, like not only for that individual, but the older gentleman before him. He was like, from my perspective, he was like, well, it's tough, but sometimes you just have to settle for. I was like, hold up. Now I'm starting to hear it now since you called it out.
And that's the thing. You don't settle. you make your demands before the election, not after. And this is the crux of the problem. A good portion of people of quote unquote black people are starting to understand how politics work, and that's why and I'm going to include myself in that, is saying we're saying we need something tangible up front. Not we're going to negotiate after the election. And that's why they got frustrated with us. Well, their handlers got frustrated with us because that breaks the mind control that they have over these people. And I want you to hear one more time what he said, and we're going to listen to it very closely, what the statement that he said.
We didn't have the leverage to be able to get in and vote for things that would benefit us.
We did have the leverage. That's the whole point. We had the leverage pre-election. Because if people don't know, let me just break down some politics to you. The Democrats can't win without a large black voter turnout. It just doesn't happen. That is our leverage. So for him to say this, either one, he's being disingenuous, or two, he just doesn't know. And that scares me more than even being disingenuous.
That I agree. Just like, I don't even want to say the word ignorant, just being unaware. That's even worse. I agree.
What was that term? Like, you either, it was from Casino. He said either you were in on it or you're too stupid to have this job. So, like, pick one. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can't have it both ways. Either he's not qualified to be talking or he's in on it. To what I mean by in on it, to talk people down. Nah, M Major, you're not too late. We just got started. I'm glad to see you here as well. So, all right, so let's go ahead and let's get, that's the reason why I played this clip. This is a local news report, and the reason why they use local news reports is because when they put it in the local news, that's when they wanted to get it down to the general masses, a message. So that's why I use local news. So I'm gonna bounce that clip out of here, and then we're gonna go to the next clip. Anything you got to say about that last clip, Grunt, before we move on?
No, not at all. Actually, we're good.
Hold on. Malcolm Rice said he finally caught the live. I appreciate that. Hey, if you want to catch the lives and you want to be notified of them, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, because I post when we're going live on there right before we go live. So you never miss it. You can't trust the YouTube notifications because they're unreliable. All right, so the next clip here is this is Derek Gilmore, and this is him on fighting for HBCU federal funding. Let's get into this next clip. This is a little long clip, so we might not listen to all of it, but I just want to hear what I'm looking for is this theme of just accepting less than what we're expecting.
House lawmakers on Capitol Hill are showcasing the historical roots and continued contributions of HBCUs as they fight for funding. President Joe Biden's budget package falls short of what these institutions need, and it's much less than anticipated, putting them at a disadvantage. Joining us to expand our horizons on the subject and tell us why money for HBCUs is so important, we welcome Derek C. Gilmore. He's the Executive Vice President at Stillman College in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Naja. Very great to be with you this afternoon.
One of the things that we have committed to doing here is holding the Biden administration accountable. We know he's in office because he had support from a lot of black and brown communities. And so to see this funding being cut short. I'm going
to stop it right there. This is how they like to lump together. Another person recognized your suit. They said you're on your K-Sams. They said you're on your K-Sams, Grunt. Hold on. M Major said you on your K-Sams lately.
Oh, she did. Oh, yeah. Shouts out to N Major. I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, I've been getting that a lot a while back. That's crazy, but I appreciate it, though.
And the reason why I'm bringing that up is that goes to show you that they're not dealing with a normal group of black people and specifically black men when it comes to expectations. Our expectations are getting higher and higher for ourselves, and it's being reflected in our politics, in our appearance, in our what we expect out of mates, all these things. So this is just a microcosm of what's going on the bigger picture, that with education, with information, because we live in an information age now, that we're having higher expectations. Now, you know where I was going, Pretty? The black and brown community. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the brown community have been getting what they wanted, because, see, that's the thing. They have a very clear message. We want amnesty. We want open borders. We want what is it? Immigration. They want citizenship. That's the main one. They want citizenship. It's very clear what they want. And we saw when the election was over, the border fly wide open for them. But then we also seen, quote unquote, black people that were trying to get across, and I use that term very loosely because that doesn't refer to the native or the foundational black people or the ADOS people of America. We saw black people, the Haitians, they even got shut down at the border. You see what I'm saying? So
that's history. That right there was a big turning point, because, you know, even with HBCU or situations like that ahead of time, it was beneficial towards immigrants. You get what I'm saying? So that's crazy about that. How the Haitians, how they turned them around by the border, though.
Right, because they didn't have anybody here negotiating on their behalf the same way the Latino community or the Hispanic community had negotiating on their half. But as you see, they try to lump together black and brown in this scenario. Now, you never heard that term black and brown when it was talking about the Haitians. You didn't hear anybody come out. Of course, I didn't hear. And if you did, if you haven't, please send it to me. I'm speaking to everybody in the live chat, and even people that's watching on the playback. If you have any information, there's people speaking in the terms of allyship as far as between the black and brown for the Haitians, please send it to me. But I didn't hear that. But once again, now it becomes black and brown again. So let me back this up a little bit, and we're going to pick it up from there. Anything you want to add before I get started again, Grump?
Yeah, I just had a look at the comments, and that's very interesting what Malcolm said. He said pretty soon it'll be brown and black. And that right there is subliminal right there. That's very important because go ahead.
No, because Joe Biden told us this. I just want to go ahead and finish your statement. I just want to it ain't gonna pretty soon it's gonna be. Joe Biden told us this. He told black people, hey, they're gonna be the majority soon, so you better learn how to work with them.
Pretty much, yeah. That's good. That's good. Like not good for, you know, it's happening, but it's just how we aware of it, how they doing that mind play on us right there. Like that might have been a joke right there, what Malcolm said, but that's really what's happening. And I wouldn't be surprised if they actually switch it like that. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like slowly put it in our consciousness.
We need to watch for that. And we always talk about memonese, you know, these terms and statements. I'll be interested to start hearing it if or when they start using brown and black instead of black and brown, because, you know, those kind of orders in the Senate structure matter as well. Even though they're minor, they matter. But let's go ahead and back it up and listen to her lay this out.
The Biden administration accountable. We know he's in office because he had support from a lot of black and brown communities. And so to see this funding being cut short is really concerning because that shows us he's not delivering. I just want to get your take on that.
Well, looking at the recent news reports and the reduction from approximately 45 billion to $2 billion was disappointing to say the least. Especially when we look at the impacts of these other minority serving institutions, to include our Hispanic serving institution as well as our Native and Dollar serving institutions. It was quite disappointing because we know that
this brother need better Wi-Fi.
We account for, and specifically HBCUs, we account for, you know, less than 3% of overall public and private nonprofit institutions of higher education, but we actually produce 17% of the bachelor degree earning minorities, or in this case, specifically African Americans. So to say the least, it was very disappointing in the numbers that we've seen thus far. And I'm hoping that through our activism and advocates that we have and stakeholder groups that we have, that there will be a a change in that number before the final bill is approved.
Yeah, the numbers are disappointing. But give us sort of a real world application. I mean, what is the...
So before they get into the real world application, yeah, the numbers are disappointing, but at the same time, we heard, and we're going to hear more from other people. I have other clips of how they're automatically trying to smooth it over because they know they're not going to get any more money. So it's like, well, you know, we heard at the beginning, well, you know, 2 billion is better than 1, even though it's not 45.
Yeah, pretty much just going for the crumbs now. It's like how somebody in the comments said earlier about the car dealership thing. It's mind blowing. I'm telling you, I'm appalled off that situation. It's a condition.
And so Raul says they don't want ADOS climbing the economic ladder because they need someone at the bottom. Yeah, and this is what this is all about. Every society needs to have a bottom, and the bottom, having a black bottom works for the Democrats. And pause on that, hard pause. Having a black bottom for the Democrats works because we vote as a collective. If they try to do a brown bottom or, you know, some other group as the bottom, they tend to start to, you know, diversify in politics as they start getting more money, as the economic situation change. For the most part, black people politics stay the same regardless of their economic situation. Now you have those cases, but for the most part, and that's why they like, okay, let's keep the blacks on the bottom because as long as we keep them on the bottom, they'll stay this voting block, and it's easier to manipulate and to satisfy them. Let's see. So make sure I didn't miss any comments. Let's go ahead and listen to the real world applications.
The impact that this is going to have on black and brown students.
Well, when we look at the reduction in funding, one of the real issues, especially here at Stillman College, when we look at our institutional budget and actually how much we have to spend, or we're required to spend annually to support our students, we know that 88% of our students are Pell eligible, meaning they're dependent on those Pell Grant funds to support their education. From an institution standpoint, to cover those students' costs, we have to supplement those funds. And so the real world impact of that is institutions like Stillman College and other HBCUs and minority serving institutions have to support that by offsetting that cost and actually allocating, again, upwards of 10 to 12% of our operating budget annually to support students to make sure that the financial liabilities and burdens that they have, that we can alleviate that and ensure that those students are retained and have a path towards graduation. So the reduction in funding actually has a day-to-day impact on not only from a student standpoint, but our faculty and staff and our capacity to retain talent in the faculty ranks so that our students have experiential learning opportunities, again, that support them in their graduate school application and processes for professional schools, as well as they go into the workforce in some demanding fields such as the STEM areas.
What in the world? All right. So that's the real world implications of the funding cut. So let's go ahead and get out of here. All right. So anything you want to say to that, Grump? Let me say one thing. I know a lot of people that wouldn't have been able to go to college if it wasn't for, you know, the Pell Grant, these grants or whatnot. Oh, there he is. There he is, the man, myth, the legend, Deep Impressions, heavy with the promo in the live chat.
Yes,
you made it, brother. You made it.
Shouts out to Deep Impressions.
All right. So what I was saying is a lot of people that if it wasn't for HBCUs, if it wasn't for Pell Grant and these other programs, they would have never gotten the college track. They may have not been, you know, the best students in high school, but it got their foot in the door, and then they bloomed and flourished as college students for whatever reason, just because of this different style of learning. So, anything you want to say to that, Grump?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that ending? What you were saying again?
I was saying that the HBCUs. You're from Florida, right? You know what I'm saying? I think
South Carolina.
Oh, excuse me, South Carolina. So y'all have South Carolina State, right?
Yes, sir.
And you're in Florida now, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's FAMU. A lot of these schools, that the, you know, what do they call it, predominantly PWI, I think predominantly white institutions, they wouldn't have took a risk on some of these students, but they might have been questionable students as far as whatever test scores, or they might have been great students but not had the, you know, the high test scores to get them in those PWIs, or they didn't have the kind of attention that they needed as far as figuring out where their roadblock was in education. So what the point I'm making is, have you noticed or have you seen that HBCUs have been helpful to get people that may have been a middle of the road students on the college track?
Oh yes, most definitely. Actually, as an individual I know, a friend of my family, actually that helped him a lot. Helped him out a lot. He became a lawyer off of that. He didn't score the highest. It was like, how do I put it? Like in the middle, kind of. But for a PWI, like, you know, primary white institution, they wouldn't take a risk on him. But for HBCU, they took a risk on him, and it helped him out. Changed his whole life, though. And
as Major said, she said HBCUs prepare black students for the real world, and it does, because
yes,
I went to 1 PWI and 2 HBCUs. I was a floater in college. As far as, if I didn't like the vibe of a school, I would leave. I mean, that's the kind of person I've always been. But with that said, you get that, I don't know, like I said, like she was saying, it prepares you. It's like an incubator. If you had a very fragile time in your development as a young adult, so being around your peers, being around instructors that can maybe relate to you on a different level, it just prepares you a little bit better. And it's that last, like I said, it's that incubator. That's how I would like to see it. And somebody made it. I don't want to go back way back out. Somebody made the statement of, like, Bill Cosby had Hillman on Different World, and that is a real representation of how black colleges is. You have like the pit, you know what I'm saying? They had the student union, you know what I'm saying, the student union building or whatever it's called. It might be called in different places, different universities. But that's where you have pool tables, and you get, you know what I'm saying, you have your snacks, and you can go study, and, you know, it gets you in these social circles. Like I said, it's a good incubator for young talent, especially for those, if you're gonna be a star, you're gonna be a star. But if you're like, okay, I'm college material, but, you know, I need, you know, to work on some specific things, that I think HBCUs is a great place for that.
I agree. It actually, from the border of somebody working a dead end job to somebody actually having a job that pays them well enough to support a family and, you know, a mortgage. That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference.
I agree. So let's go ahead and get to this. Where we at? 45 minutes. Okay, let's go ahead and get into this next clip. And this one is HBCUs possibly funding cuts will impact Simmons College in Louisville. So this is I guess a smaller school, Simmons College. Let's listen to the impact on this, the effects it's going to have on this cut.
Very own HBCU is voicing its disapproval of Biden's reconciliation plan, saying it's a broken promise to not only them, but HBCUs across the country. Elle Smith went to Simmons College to find out that impact.
Biden's proposal has left students and staff of Simmons College feeling not only upset and disappointed, but also calling it a broken promise.
You may not have known that Louisville is home to a historically black college. Simmons College of Kentucky, seated right in the heart of downtown. It's a place for black students to feel at home and supported.
One of the major things is that,
and that's what we were talking about, at home and supported.
Yes,
especially when we talk about the family ills and those kind of things of that nature. Luckily, I was blessed enough to have a 2-parent household and a stable household, family-wise. But these HBCUs often offer a family structure, and even the professors even like quasi-adopt kids to help them, you know, to progress and get acclimated to the college environment.
I agree. Even if you have a 2-parent household, the mentors in that community, that environment actually even helps out tremendously.
Yep. So let's go. Let her finish making her statement.
I feel like I'm somebody here at Simmons.
For second-year student LaShondra Elias Lockhart, coming to Simmons as a non-traditional student was an easy decision. It was affordable, and she wanted the HBCU experience.
It just made sense to make Simmons the place that I got my degree from.
But staff and faculty are concerned for the future of Simmons.
So that's another thing, the non-traditional students. So when you talk about when we go back to Hillman, I forget her name. What was the older student? Somebody help me out in the live chat. It's a little foggy, but in Different World, you had the older brown-skinned lady that she was a non-traditional student. But you see this where you might live in the town where the college is, and it's more accessible for you to get entry in there just from the non-traditional path and not coming straight out of high school, taking the SATs and those kind of things. So go ahead and speak to that, Grunt, and or did you have anything to add? I mean, to put you on the spot, but
no, I don't have. I was trying to look up what you was talking about.
Yeah, it was not Vanessa. What was her name?
Somebody said Jaleesa.
Jaleesa, that was it. Jaleesa, thank you. Jaleesa was a non-traditional student, and that's the thing. Like, I gotta say this, and I'm gonna end up doing a show. I don't know which platform on Different World and the role it paved and played in getting kids interested in, especially kids of color, black kids or colored kids or however you want to call them, people of color, colored people, into just being college is accessible. A lot of people didn't think college was accessible, or even a realistic dream. So no, it wasn't a kid. It was Jaleesa. Andrew, you won the prize for the night. Appreciate that. But yeah, she was a non-traditional. I think she had kids, and she was had a divorce, and she had went back to college. And like I said, that may have been a path for a lot of people that they hadn't seen before. So, yeah, I'm gonna end up doing a show on that when time permits.
I agree that is true, because it was, before my time, still like the vibes back then. College was like a foreign language, to many of people in our community. Like how you said, it wasn't really in their mind a limited belief of being accessible, and shows like that help, pave that way and create that mindset, the manifestation.
Yep. And so, and Major said, my parents went to Tuskegee, so I always imagined their experience was like Hillman. They made it seem so far, and not right. And look, I went to North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie Pride, and just even if it wasn't, even if you didn't go to these schools, even if your parents didn't go to these schools, they brought a certain pride to the community. Aggie Fest and the Aggie Eagle Classic, and these are for like people that maybe didn't go to the school, but it gave you a sense of pride that these establishments that were in your community. Oh yeah, go Aggies! You know what time it is. But I always tell people I went to class. I didn't go to college. I didn't get caught up in the whole college experience. I was working too much. You know what I'm saying? To actually enjoy it, because I was there for a purpose. But let's go ahead and finish up this clip.
And are fighting for funding. Why? The latest version of President Joe Biden's $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation bill. Initially, Biden proposed $55 billion in funding to HBCUs in his Build Back Better plan. However, when the bill went to Congress for reconciliation, that changed to $30.5 billion, something Vice Provost Javan Reed says reflects HBCUs being put on the back burner.
To me, to build back better means to start with historical black colleges, because those students have been left out. We have been left out.
Funding is always a topic of conversation at any institution, but at HBCUs, federal funding is necessary. HBCUs have long faced disadvantages in raising funds and are struggling to grow their endowments. According to the National Association of College and University Business, the top 10 predominantly white institution endowments and donations totaled nearly $200 billion in 2020. Compare that to $2 billion for the top 10 HBCU endowments.
This is another way to look at how we've been left out and been refused, as opposed to predominantly white institutions have been infused with funds.
Losing out on federal funding will mean plans for a new dorm building and a student center in downtown Louisville will have to be put on pause.
The need for that money to stay within the HBCU, within this community, is major.
In Louisville, I'm Elle Smith for WHAS 11.
All right, so we're going to stop that one. And I apologize, people, for the lag on the video. I don't know what's going on. That's not on my end. I got a good, I have good reception on end. But where we at? We at 50 minutes. So, and like she said, it's going to have an impact on the communities. This is just, come on, man. So this is going to have impact on the communities because a lot of times that revenue that these colleges bring in, colleges and universities bring in, also help the communities. You know what I'm saying? You have like you had all up and down Austin Avenue and February Street, different shops and stuff that depending on because I'm from Durham, that depending on North Carolina Central University, you know, the traffic, the foot traffic and the students and those kind of things, that, you know, this is the lifeblood of those communities. Grump, did you live near a HBCU?
I think it was it was not the popular one. Hold on, I forgot the name of it. Let me double check it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I was just saying, because if you ever lived around one, that's, you know, it's like I said, it's kind of like a sense of pride about it, you know, of just being part of that community. You know, that you had the Eagle's Nest, which is a little restaurant down there on Austin Avenue and Durham, where, you know, you go get your salmon cake biscuits and those kind of things. But you know what I'm saying? It's just how important they are to our community. And if nothing else, you have to fund these incubators, but that wasn't the case.
Well,
but
go ahead. Hold on, my bad. They're saying South Carolina State University.
I thought that was near you.
Yeah. Hold on. They talk about the Gamecocks one?
No. That's South Carolina. That's University of South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina State University I think is one of the Aggies.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. That was.
They have a big classic. We play in Charlotte against y'all.
Yes, sir. That was right by me. Yeah. And the vibes is really different. Like with Orange, that's around the Orange County area. So it's more like just pretty much the community, like the culture vibe on it. I get what you're saying. Even people who didn't went there, like I didn't went there, just still like, you know, individuals who went there. It just is like positive manifestation. And now it just seems like they're trying to close down those lesser known HBCUs and trying to make the popular ones just stay afloat.
Right. Or another phenomenon is you have non-black but also non-white students come in and they get the funding at these schools.
Oh yes, sir.
That was earmarked. Go ahead.
So like people from like Korea or, you know, those type of areas you talking about?
I know, like the Middle East. A&T, A&T, one of the 9/11 bombers had got, and that's one of our not highlights. It was got educated at A&T, you know, because it's easy for non-white but non-black students to come to these HBCUs and get funding. So I guess let's see. Somebody said South Carolina State and let's see.
Yes, he's right. Malcolm is correct. Shouts out. Malcolm must be from South Carolina himself because he nailed it on the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So let's go ahead and so of course, when this news broke, it got major on social media and they had to do damage control. So the Divine Nine, and here's where my issue comes in it. The Divine Nine, if you don't know who the Divine Nine is, that's the 9 major black fraternities and sororities. That's supposed to be the talented 10th and the gatekeepers for the black community. The problem is, if you're not securing the resources that we need, you need to be replaced. Also known as or it could be known as the boule, or as Grunt, what you call them, the creme brulee.
You said the cream brulee.
The cream brulee, you were saying.
For real.
So my issue is, if we have a vice president that attended an HBCU, which she did, she went to Howard University, and she was a member of one of the Divine Nine sororities. if she can't get this to happen and understand how important this is, what's the purpose? But we knew what was going to happen, but it's got to be this has to be a wake-up call for those that are still asleep and don't understand how politics work.
I'm telling you, like it's some individuals, very few that I know that was in support of that decision, in the past, and now they're coming across what we currently seeing within our eyes, and I'll say a good portion of them is doing a 180 with their perspective on it. So that's good.
Because they went so hard in this 2020 election. It's like leaving them with egg on their face. And we're going to give examples that we're going to speed up the show a little bit so we can get some of the examples in of how they took that hard L. But let's go ahead and read a comment right quick. This is from ASAP Atheist. He says, you really have to justify the idea that it is any easier for an individual to get financial assistance from an HBCU than it is to get Pell Grant from wherever. Pell Grant to go to wherever. I don't think I understand that. If you can clarify that statement. Oh, yeah. There you go. All the Chucks and Pearls mantra. Yep. That's the thing. They got caught so up on the symbolism of the Chucks and the Pearls and Tim rocking and Tupac and smoking weed and all this stuff that they didn't vet this person. Which this person, I'm going to be honest with you. Kamala Harris, the Vice President of the United States, some call the shadow president of the United States, or the proxy president. You know what I'm saying? She may be being handled by even people higher than her. Allegedly, that's just some things that people have thrown out there. I don't think she really cares for black people like that. I'm just keep it honest with you. From her actions, I'm just judging her actions.
I say this real quick. It's like once you on that toll that she's in, like going up that ladder, you will have to. It's pretty much the how do I say, the caring becomes narrow, like a quarterback vision. In order for, in her mind, I'm assuming she's like, in order for me to like maintain this stability or go reach my goal, I have to like cut loose ends. So yeah, the actions tell them.
And Major, that she said none of them care about black folks. And let me clarify. I think she has, and this is just my speculation alert. I think she has disdain in a way for black people. So that's just my perspective of it, because you can't get this many things wrong and be for us. And maybe she's pivoting to her other ancestry now. And maybe that was the whole point. But let's go ahead and get into this. This is how she communicates with the leadership of the Divine Nine.
Well, it is my great honor to officially welcome, at my invitation, my Divine Nine family and these great national and international leaders. We have so much to discuss, and I'm looking forward to our conversation. But this invitation has been made and was made even before we arrived at the White House, understanding the historic, the current, and the future roles of leadership that members of each of the Divine Nine organizations play in every sector of our society and in every way, both historically, currently, and in the future. And for the President and for me, it is very important that we collaborate with our leaders, knowing that we face so many challenges as a country, knowing that we are entering in many ways a new era where those challenges are taking on great significance, but also in the midst of those challenges we see opportunities, not only for engagement, but for improvement. And so I have asked these Divine Nine leaders to come in, to share with me your thoughts about the work that we are doing and the work we can continue to do, to uplift and to reach out to all.
So why is she asking them what they can do? This is just another thing of how politics work. Usually the people in the room are asking the leadership and the people in power what can they do? But it's a complete reversal of she's telling them what they can do. It's like, we know what we can do. We know what we can do. You know, you were put here. That's how politics supposed to work. Is they should be in there asking her, "Where's our $43 billion?"
Is this recent?
Yeah, this is recent. Yeah, this was the other day. I want to say Thursday. Yeah, this is, and the reason why I brought this up is if this had been 45 Savage bringing these people in, or Mike Pence bringing these people in, it would have been called a photo op.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As we've seen that before, you're saying people call it when and politics does use photo ops. I'm not saying that, but what I'm just saying is the lack of consistency when we see things to call them the same way.
That's rubbing. I'm just so appalled at how this is recent after all the other situation that's going on, and I'm telling you, I know this might be a little off topic, but you know, just with the face mask too, it helps cover half of the emotions that are being shown too. So
Here we go.
More
Grump about getting his bag. Grump, go ahead, Grump.
It just makes it more easier for them to deliver speeches or conventions like this, because you know, think about it, when you got that face mask, it's covering like 70% of your face. So all you got is the eyes. You can still read the eyes kind of, but imagine this pandemic never existed. It'll still be more difficult. Not saying that she would do it, but it'll just be more difficult.
And the question is, why is it done? It's not consistent. You know, when they go to different events and different functions, they have it on, they have it off. They have it on, they have it off. It's not consistent. So you're right. Is this used as a kind of like to not let her poker tails show? You know, go ahead.
It makes it more easier for them to like have conventions like that. From my opinion, it's like, and it's crazy how you said it's not consistent. I actually agree with that too, because there's situations where her and the other, her other partner didn't have it on. But for situations like this, it makes it more easygoing. Instead of like, oh, I gotta go meet with these people. I gotta, I've been getting heat from social media and all that. Is put yourself in her perspective. Like, it's more easier to approach another individual with that covering your face.
Yeah, and she probably feel like, why do I have to be here? And some people might want to ask about the disdain that she has. Okay, well, let's humanize. We always humanize, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't ever want to make anybody out to be all evil or all bad. She could easily look at like, these people try to derail my presidency, which if they would have played along and they had the control that they thought they had, she could easily would have been the president. But the ADOS community, the foundational blacks, we're saying whatever term you would like to use, a good segment of them wasn't buying into her. And from her time rolling out from Howard University on Martin Luther King's birthday, I believe it was, she has been criticized by parts of this community. So her in her mind, let me make this clear. In her mind, her disdain might be justified. She might have also been treated like an outsider in her inner sanctums of a HBCU, because we we subset, or do we do subsets in groups of like, yeah, she not one of us, that kind of thing. So maybe her justification in her mind is maybe her disdain is justified in her mind. What do you think about that, Grump?
That could be another possibility right there. You're right. Yeah. And that, like, again, the face mask could be a distraction for her, because if she didn't have the face mask on, it's like you talking to her with the door wide open, right, to her house. You talking to somebody when the door open, but with the face mask being a distraction and the cover, it's like you talking to somebody with the door kind of crack. You get what I'm saying? From the outside in. So yeah, I get it from that. That could be another perspective that she's having. Like, they try to derail her, and yeah, I never thought of it like that. Yeah, it's possible.
Because let's just keep what we all. Let's keep it all the way funky, all the way 100. She was a light-skinned, quote unquote, good having hair girl at Howard. Howard. I'm sure she had her level of shade thrown her way for whatever reason. Like, oh, you're not one of us. You're not. And hold on. This is on the fly, but I got to do this. I'm not making this up for the simple fact of is there was a scene from School Days. And I think this is important to lay this out. Because there was a scene from School Days, and even then, even amongst the Divine Nine, and I'm sorry I don't have this clip handy because it just popped in my head. Like, this is how my brain works. Sorry, folks. But there was a clip in School Days, a famous movie from Spike Lee that covered this. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. That covered this issue of colorism and the beef between the sororities, no kind of things. So let's just go ahead and look at this right quick. And let me share. Let me share again. Share screen. We're gonna go. I mean, like I said, we're gonna have a conversation. We're gonna have an honest conversation. But let's go ahead and get into this scene. This is School Days, Madam Rerez dance scene, and this is from Spike Lee's 1988 classic movie School Days. Oh, you know what? I didn't share the sound. Let me stop sharing. Let me share again. I do that every time. StreamYard, y'all got to put the button more visible, bro. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got that little check box down at the bottom. Y'all bear with me. Y'all bear with me on this. Let's go.
Brown paper bag.
So what you're seeing here is pretty much like between the the AKAs and the deltas. Or it's going to be the light skin against the dark skin. Colorism. And this is women.
The word is excuse me. Nobody told you to stand in the hall either. Excuse me. That's better, Miss Thing. It's not real. Say what? You heard. It ain't even real. You wish you had hair like this. Girl, you know you weren't even born with blue eyes.
That's right. Blue contact lenses.
They're just jealous.
Right.
Jealous? Rachel, I've been watching you look at Julian. You're not slick. If that was true, he wasn't much to look at.
Tell me.
Pickaninny. Barbie doll. High yellow heifer.
Tar baby. Wanna be white? Jigaboo.
Don't start. We're gonna finish it.
Riri, open up!
Bro, what that just
Yeah, y'all ain't about to get me shut down, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop that there because you know what I'm saying, YouTube be tripping. But the reason why I play that, and yes, thank you, M Major. Jasmine God did, she killed that. I wonder if never mind. I ain't gonna go there.
Is it echo?
But is there echo?
No, it's not echo. Never mind.
Okay. No, but that just illustrates, because that's 1988. That would be around the time that Kamala Harris would have been going to Howard. So I'm just wondering, could it be that kind of angst or infighting that she experienced? Debbie Allen, that's who I was gonna say. Yeah, Debbie Allen. I couldn't think of her name. Okay, yeah. I thought that's who, because she was saying Debbie Allen. If you don't know, Debbie Allen is the sister of Felicia Rashad, and that's why I was gonna ask. But I didn't want to. But yeah, Jasmine Guy, she was in. You saw it with different world. She was picked on because she was light skinned and that kind of thing. So I'm wondering. Like I said, we're just trying to humanize a person. Could that be some of the disdain? So we're gonna keep pushing for that clip. There's not really in that in the Boulay meeting, the Divine Nine meeting. Other than that, I just want to show you that they called him in for a photo op to say everything's under control. Girl, you act like you wanted to say something. Go ahead, brother. Let it go. Let it go.
Now I'm just glad that I wasn't conditioned to be participating in those type of that mindset with the, you know, how they were just doing the colorism with them. I know I'm aware about the brown paper bag test and everything, but I'm just speechless when it comes to that. It's just, I don't know, Mo. It's crazy. I've never been like that. Like, looking at somebody and being like, "Oh, you yellow," or like, I just don't. I understand it, but it's just straight words that I can't even think of the words to explain that right there, because it's like, what the hell? Like, that's just putting us in a downward spiral repeatedly. You get what I'm saying?
So let's go to
Willie
back.
Lynch.
Let's go back to M Major. She said, "I doubt Kamala even understood any of it, mainly because she was an AKA, and those women are praised for light skin and good hair." So, M Major, but do you think there's a possibility that she still receives some of that smoke, especially being that she was not only, she would have been considered an exotical, or what they call them, grunt. She would have been an exotical because she's Jamaican from Canada, and you know what I'm saying. Like, so she would have been treated extra special.
I was about to say I didn't participate in that more. I be seeing. I get
But
what you're
saying we see it though. I mean, not because but we have to acknowledge it because it's there. I mean,
yes.
Yeah. It's there. I mean, like I said, and so I'm just saying, like, where her disdain could be coming from. And I think she also felt like, y'all let Obama get away with it. Why not me? You know what I'm saying? Which is a true statement. We did let Obama get away with it, but I think he ruined it for everybody else, to be honest with you. Yeah, Diva Pratt, she was an exotic. You know what I'm saying? Let's just, hey, we keep it real over here. We don't pull no punches. And her being from Canada, her being
she's from Canada?
Well, she's from Jamaica. Her mom's Indian. Her dad's Jamaican. She was raised in Canada. So going to Howard, they was like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you saying you exotical.
So she got the citizenship. So after that, she went to Howard, and then after a while, it didn't take her long to get the U.S. citizenship.
No, she already had. She was born here. I mean, she was born here in Oakland. But I'm just saying, both her parents were are immigrants from Jamaica and India.
But that's a different perspective right there. When you got parents who are immigrants, there's no shade or nothing, but for instance, Candace Owens and all that, that's a different experience for individuals who have parents that are, from ADOS. You get what I'm saying? It's a different perspective. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, we had to look at all of this and maybe just when we're humanizing, say maybe that's where she's coming from. Maybe she experienced that smoke. And I'm just, since we keeping it all the way 100, we can't act like black colleges, AKA, no pun intended for that, but HBCUs were just these bastions of just pure equality as well, because at one time, and we heard Beyonce's father say this, Matthew Knowles, said that even at Fisk in the 1970s, they were still doing the brown paper bag test. So this ain't something like in the early 1900s. And we're saying this goes all the way, up into the early 70s that they were doing this. And the same thing with fraternities and sororities as well. Go ahead, Grunt.
We see it now, with them news anchors that you showed earlier in the show, the brown paper bag test right there. Mm-hmm. It's like for the masses, it's more appealing to the eye for you to be able to pass the brown paper bag test. You see it in Netflix shows and all that. That it is what it is within the Western indoctrination. Dude, I'm not the only one who peeped that out. Y'all know about shows and everything. Y'all saw those ladies right there. It's like passing the brown paper bag test. I was introduced to that when I was young by my mother because I was unaware of it, but now shit crazy, man. That's all I say.
Well, we can go down that colorism rabbit hole another time, because I said that's a deep one in itself. Let's go ahead and get back on topic. So now, of course, they had to bring the Boulay buttered biscuit eaters out to smooth things up. No, it's true. It's true. To smooth things over, to say, hey, well, it's not that bad. And the best Boulay biscuit eater, butter biscuit eater, is one Roland Martin. And let's see how he tried to clean this up.
Top of the show, we talked about the HBCU funding. The story's been circulating, but
what?
Every time I see, bro, when I see dude, he just make me laugh right there. I just think of Uncle Ruckus off the Boondocks or something, man. I'm sorry.
Let's go.
He
Said
was
$45 billion was supposed to be earmarked for HBCU.
Let's go ahead and back it up.
So
So
at the
he
top
can
of the show, we talked
yeah.
about the HBCU funding. The story's been circulating by the Associated Press that $45 billion was supposed to be earmarked for HBCUs. Now that's been cut down to $2 billion. Let's talk with Victor Santos with the Thurgood Marshall Fund. Thurgood Marshall Fund, of course, they are out here representing these public HBCUs. Victor, what is the truth? We had Leslie Baskerville on talking about it as well. I'm sure y'all have gotten phone calls on this. Was there ever $45 billion in a budget proposal or in a bill from the Biden administration, from Democrats, from Republicans to HBCUs?
Hold on, before he starts, let's be clear. Everybody is not on the same page on the Boulay side of things, because a lot of people had started probably spending before the back. You know how people are. Before the money lands,
Yes,
you
sir.
start spending. And a lot of these Boulay people had started spending that money, counting their eggs before they hatched. And it's like, 45 billion? Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and get this. Let me go ahead and get that. Let me go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it shrinks. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about it shrinking by 96%. Check me on my math on that. So, yeah, I mean, 90-something percent.
He's looking like the damn three blind mice. What's the damn? He purposely put those shades on for this.
Well, hold on. Now, you brought up the mask before. Did he put the shades on to mask?
Yes, correct. That's what I'm saying. It's either with the eyes or the mouth. It's like you could pick your choice. Pick you want to cover your eyes or you want to cover your mouth. You know, when people at funerals or when people are like with Kamala Harris situation, it's pretty much like, I keep using this example. It's like talking to somebody with the door cracked open.
Yeah, you can't see what's going on resting in the room. But when I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna back this up a little bit so we can get his full thing in context. He knows the smoke is coming because these are the same people that sat out and said, "Oh, we gonna get what we promised. We gonna get what we promised." And if they were paying attention, the Biden plan changed once he got the nomination. When he was still trying to get the nomination, the Democrat nomination, it was called Lift Every Voice, which that was a play on the Lift Every Voice and sing the National Negro Anthem. But when he got the nomination, it quickly changed from that to Build Back Better, which we know that is a globalist plan that's been in place for many years, if not decades. And it was just kind of like, we'll throw something in here for them to get them to shut up, which we know we'll never deliver on. Yeah, right. And somebody just said that. Hold on. Ban deviant. See, I remember. Yeah, it's just like the opportunity thing. Yeah, this is Rising Tide, Uplift All Boats. Thank you, Deep Impressions, for doing the constant promotion of the channel. So, you ready to hear what the brother on the right has to answer, Grunt?
Yes, sir. Ready to hear it.
All right, let's go ahead and hear his answer.
From the Biden administration, from Democrats, from Republicans to HBCUs.
No. So what the proposal was for.
I gotta back this up so we can hear the whole question again. But I want people to pay attention. People have gotten hip to the word but, and they say anything you said before but doesn't matter. So people are starting using so in the place of but. I want people to pay attention to that. And the reason why, because we start listening to the media and how they speak, then we can understand when we're being shammed or not. So they're going to use so in the place of but because they know but now is a trigger word to mean everything you just said is BS before the but. So let's just listen to this question and listen to him answer it again.
Phone calls on this. Was there ever $45 billion in a budget proposal or in a bill from the Biden administration, from Democrats, from Republicans to HBCUs?
No. So what the proposal was for HBCUs and minority serving institutions. So you have to understand what minority serving institutions means. HSIs, there are 569 of them. There are only 101 HBCUs. To give you an example of what some of these HSIs look like.
Hold on. Wait. You said HSI. What is that?
Hispanic Serving Institutions.
Now we see the brown versus the bag. Brown versus the black over the bag. You see how they're starting to break out now? You know what I'm saying? Like the Hispanics, and we saw this when we were talking about who won Biden the presidency. The Hispanics came out and quickly said, no, we're the one that carried them. What was her name? Gloria, what's Tony Parker's ex-wife's name? She was the one that came out and said that, like, no, we were the ones that carried Joe Biden across the finish line in places like Arizona and places like that. So now we're starting to see what Joe Biden said in the beginning, that it's the Hispanics that are in control now, and y'all gonna have to learn to get along with them.
Somebody in the comments earlier said Joe Biden said we better learn how to speak Spanish.
That's basically what he was saying. Like, he's like, hey, y'all gonna have to learn how to deal with him. Eva Longoria, look, y'all on fire tonight. Y'all help me, please, because y'all gotta understand, I go strictly off the top of my head. So yeah, Eva Longoria. So she was one that came out and said no, and she got kind of roasted for it, and she had to come out and apologize because they kind of gave her the wink, nod, like we know, but you know, the Negroes, you got to play along. You know, we can't fraction them. That's a whole nother problem. So let's listen to the brothers answer one more time.
Means HSIs, there are 569 of them. There are only 101 HBCUs. To give you an example of what some of these HSIs look like.
Hold on. Wait. You said HSI. What is that?
Hispanic Serving Institutions. Okay? That means.
So you said that there are 101. You said hold on a second. Hold on. You said there are 101 HBCUs.
Correct.
500 and what? Hispanic Serving Institutions?
69 and growing. Okay? So to give you an example.
So 569, 101, that's 670.
Correct. But you also have
Got it.
You also have tribal colleges. So we're only getting a percentage of that money to begin with. Okay. And to give you an example of what these HSIs look like, your alma mater, Texas A&M, is an HSI. So when Leslie was talking about
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. If you serve 25% at least Hispanic students, you are an HSI. Okay? So for that money that is proposed, and when Leslie was talking about the coupling earlier, this is what she was talking about. She was talking about don't put HBCUs in the same pot to apply for this money against Texas A&M, University of Texas, basically the entire California system.
So basically the PMIs are rebranding as HSIs, and they're getting into the pockets of HBCUs. Predominantly white institutions, PWIs, are rebranding as HSIs, which is Hispanic Serving Institutions, so they can get into the bag that's set aside for HBCUs and quote unquote minorities.
It's a loophole. It's pretty much, they said they had to have like 25% or more.
Right.
Yeah, it's a loophole. Yeah.
So like somebody just said, the California, Texas, the universities there that have a large, the state has a large Hispanic population. You're going to have mostly in-state students in these institutions, so they become HSIs, and then the HSIs, the PWIs are able to rebrand and get in their hand into a different pot of money. That's amazing. And then the other thing is, then a lot of Hispanics will go on, if not this generation, next generation, start listing themselves as white on government documents.
Yeah, it's like the $5 anything. It's a loophole. They look at it as, like you said, America, like you're a stockholder in America. They look at it like a business, capitalism. And they find a loophole and they just use it until that gray area becomes black or white, and then they on to the next one.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly the same. Like I said, they know how to play the numbers games, and they're like, okay, we're gonna be HSIs now.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because in their heritage, the culture and everything, we already know they're not, European descent, but on paper and all that, why not?
Zudica is like, wow. Yeah, it's that man, I'm speechless. It's a trick bag. Hey, what's up, Bobby? Hey, Grunt, we got Bobby in the house. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Bobby? How you doing, man? Yep.
Yeah, so this is where we're at with it, and this is what Joe Biden was telling you. We got to get along with them. And look at the brother's name, Victor Santos.
Yeah.
Is this brother Hispanic?
Yes.
Interesting. He knows so much about it, and we've seen this with Indians and Hispanic. They'll shave their head, and you know what I'm saying, they'll look black. It was what's the lady's name off The Office? The Indian lady. Her brother did this.
Yeah.
He pretended to be black to get into some kind of college. I think it was Ivy League school. But let's go ahead and let Victor Santos finish.
They're all HSIs. Every school in Florida is HSI because they serve at least 25% Hispanic students.
You see how much expression you going hard on that, Mo?
Bro, I want Ann Major to be around if I'm ever playing Jeopardy or filling out a daggone crossword puzzle. She know like every celebrity there is. Shouts out to you.
Shouts out to her.
And Van Devian as well. But yeah, you nailed it tonight with the names. I don't know why I'm drawing so many blanks. But let's let Mr. Santos finish.
Okay, so
hold on. My question before we even get Roland, why didn't Roland know this? Roland act like he was saying he's the vanguard and the keeper of all things black, especially HBCU, because he one of the Divine Nine brothers, a Boule brother. But he didn't know this? You don't know who we're competing against for the bag? This is why I said these people are either complicit or too dumb to do their jobs. But it has to be one or the other. You can't have it both ways. I think Bobby said something about the census. Let's go back up see what Bobby had to say. Where you at, Bobby? I know you said something about the census. Did they zap you? All right, here it go. He said, pull up the 2000 U.S. Census. It shows you who classify as white or black. Yep. Appreciate that. Yeah, you are great at trivia. All right, let's go.
Was there ever a number? So where does this $45 billion come from?
Yeah. So there was a number in the American Jobs Plan that Biden put out that included some funding for infrastructure along with some centers of excellence, 200 centers of excellence that would have gone to HSI, all HBCUs and MSIs, which, to be quite frank, is more than half of the schools that are in existence in total when you include all the HSIs, all the PBIs, which are predominantly black institutions, HBCUs. It's a gamut that runs across the spectrum. So when we say decoupling, what we mean is this: we have to make sure that HBCUs have a pot of money that they can apply for and compete against other HBCUs for. That's what we've been pushing for, and that's what we've been urging Congress to do.
Okay, so this thing is being spread like wildfire. People say all sorts of different things. And so what is being spread is factually incorrect. And so it looks real cute.
Why he had to go factually incorrect? I don't understand this. Why is it still going? I just paused it.
Oh.
Why do you have this? When people say, oh, it was technically, factually, what is that? I'm referring, hold on. Let me do this one more time.
Nah, it's like he's playing I go ahead, Moto.
So it's semantics. He knows what they were promised. He knows what was promised. If you go back, I don't know, StreamYard acting crazy tonight. They must got heavy traffic.
I feel you. It just, and the way he's expressing it too is.
Hold on, let me share this screen one more time. Just so we're going back to Newsweek here, folks. You know what I'm saying? We ain't pulling up some rinky-dink website.
It's like him getting his brother in the room with his girl saying, so what was that last night? Wasn't we, doing this? Yes. So we ain't went to no club, right? Yes.
And she like, shut up. Don't you ask him. Let me ask him. Because you know how you can leave somebody like, hey, girl, tell her we was at the movies last night, bro. Tell her. Instead of her asking him saying, hey, where we all at last night? Is a big difference in how that question is posed.
That's what it is right here. That's what rolling. Crazy.
I don't know. My StreamYard froze. Here we go. Come on. StreamYard, I got to get it together, bro. I'm holding up the production value over here. Are we still on?
Yeah, we still on. It just froze up. It's still rolling. Oh, now it just went off. Okay. Now it loaded up an article. All right, you good?
Okay. If you see here, it says they were looking forward to $45 billion in funding, may be faced with just $2 billion under the Biden's administration's multi-trillion-dollar spending plan. It says here they were set to include $45 billion for HBCUs. It didn't say for HSIs or whoever else to split up. So if this is not true, the Newsweek is reporting fake news, and they need to fix that. Yeah, go ahead.
Quick question. They said it was 2 individuals who had rewrote the bill, and they had got it approved by Biden administration. Biden administrators. I forgot the name. It started with like an M and an S.
The 2 names?
Yeah, the 2 names. Dang, I'm not.
I don't remember the names. I'm sorry about that, bro. But I'm just saying, the Newsweek said they were promised this. I'm sure when they were campaigning, they campaigned this $45 billion. People are not upset over this. If that's the case, then they wouldn't have to call in the Divine Nine and explain that to them. They should, hey, look, we didn't make y'all no promises. You know what I'm saying? That's how you talk tough to people if you don't owe them nothing. Let me go and start closing out some of this stuff right quick. We're going to get to that in a minute. So that's enough of rolling. I'm a little done with that. But yeah, you may say all y'all can check this out later. But y'all at least now know about the HSI. So now we got to go to where we at? Where we at in the clip list? How we looking on time? 1:30. Okay, factually, and even in the comment, and even in that factually incorrect AP Newsweek reports of, you know what I'm saying, they said factually incorrect. Okay, no. All right, so now we're going to go back to, this is Kamala Harris making it clear that she wasn't going to do anything specific for black people, and this kind of put the nail in her political coffin as far as being president before she even got it off the ground.
For black people.
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just pausing on weed. What do you mean by weed? You peep that out? Like, what do you mean?
Weed. Yeah.
All right. That's all I want to say, though.
Yeah, and those are 2 names right there, Mansion and Cinema.
Yes, thank you. Shouts out to Major. That's exactly what I was looking for right now.
That's daggone, boy. She daggone. She
appreciate
Rosie Perez off of daggone White Men Can't Jump out this movie.
That was clutch.
All right, so let's get back to what Kamala Harris on what she ain't gonna do.
Do you support reparations for black people?
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination, segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress.
All right, so now she done listed out all the reasons why we need to have reparations. The gaslighting is amazing. She laid it out, everything. What, redlining, Jim Crow, slavery, and you know what I'm saying, even institution of sharecropping after slavery, all these things. She lays it out quite clearly. She understands the problem very clearly and intimately. She understands the problem. Now listen to her solution.
We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities around income. And we have to recognize that everybody did not.
Bro, that face right there kills me every time. Look at this. Look at this sister face. Look at this sister face. You said like she know it's like for real. Like it's about to be some bull. Like if this about to be some BS was a person, that's the face. Let's go back and watch it one more time.
To recognize.
Look at that face. She looking like.
She remind me. I ain't gonna say her name, but she looked just like this other celebrity, like making that face.
She like, you really gonna do it, huh? You really just gonna torture your whole political career right here in this one statement.
You see that red eye squint a little? That's when you know it's real. That right eye.
That face. We need a whole. This is a whole episode of nonverbal cues right here. That face is just like seriously. All right, that face, boy, I'm trying. It cracks me up. I don't know if they edited it afterwards, but whoever did this, gold, comedy gold. Let's go ahead and get it back.
Around income, and we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country. And in particular, Black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the LIFT Act.
See, she had the LIFT Act. Biden had the Lift Every Voice Act. And then they just got everybody conveniently, when the primaries were over, they got rolled up into this global Build Back Better plan for the new normal. Don't let that be missed on you.
Very skillful of them. She got skills though. She do got skills on the talking points and stuff and how she could
She's very good when she's in the lead. What I mean by that, like if she's talking in the form of she's in control of the conversation. But if you hit her with a unplanned question, she goes into that cackle, that laugh, and then you just like, it's all. Then she spins out of control. It's like when they say horses. Some horses are good lead horses. If they're in the lead, they can run great. But if they ever get behind, they'll never catch up. That's her.
Yeah, I see. You're right about that. When they caught her off guard with some questions about, she actually know law too, so that's why it make more sense. Like if she's in control of the conversation or something, yeah, it makes more sense now.
There ain't no giggle. That's a cackle, boy. That laugh is horrendous. All right, let's go.
Give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will better
give people. When her plan, it was anybody. All the stuff she's saying, anybody that makes under that threshold, not just exclusive to ADOS, Foundational Blacks.
benefit and uplift 60% of Black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects Black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans that you would explore.
So she said, so by default, that means if you make under $100,000 for anybody, it's going to help anybody, but since Black people fall under that due to the racial wealth gap, it's going to help them in a larger proportion. That's what the reporter is asking her.
Yep, and she wiped her nose like.
Go ahead, get on it. Go ahead, get on it, girl. I know you want.
Oh no, she wiped her nose. Nah, that's what I'm saying. She was wiping her nose. It's like she prepping for it. I just want to hear a response now.
And then she looks down to the look. She got to look and collect their thoughts. I've been watching your videos. I've been paying attention to the nonverbal cue videos. If y'all haven't, go check the Young Brother Grump's channel out. He does awesome work on the nonverbal cues and then the psychological and emotional interaction between people. Great videos. It does movies and popular videos as well. And this is a good time to say, this is a value for value platform. If you're enjoying what you're seeing, please show value back because we do not take money from YouTube. You can find the links at the top of the page. It's the link tree. And you can find that we take Square, we take Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, EBT. No, I'm playing. Well, I wish I could take some EBT. Look, I'll take. Look, I got a PO box just in case somebody wants to send some Amazon out my way. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, I'll turn down nothing but my collar. But but also as what you know what I'm saying, people doing the live chat as well, what M Major's doing, with helping us out with the fact checking and the names, deep impression. Also, when you get ready to leave here tonight, more value, engaging the algorithm. Please leave a comment, leave a like, share, that kind of thing, because that helps spread the channel to other people that may not know about the fun time we have over here. But you ready to hear our answer, Grump?
Yes, sir. I'm ready for it.
All right, here you go. This is how she ended her political career right here before it got started, and on the presidential platform.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing, it will directly benefit Black children, Black families, Black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be...
Hold on. Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. So obviously she's targeting her answer to all of society and convincing them why doing anything for Black people is a good idea. That's what I took away from it.
Well, I'm bullet like that. Like that talk.
Right, she's saying, hey, non-Black people, quote unquote non-Black people, anything I do for them is going to be good for you. So trust me on this one, and don't get mad if I do anything for them. That's what she's saying, because her target audience changed when she said that these are the political sleight of hands that we need to watch for. I'm sorry, M Major, and I'm sorry everybody that's getting sick to their stomach. Yeah, I'm sorry, but we got to do this.
Reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit Black people will benefit all of society. Let's be clear about that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country.
That ruined her career right there. That did it. And notice the spunk she got in her voice when she said it. Her shoulders got the bouncing. Her neck got the bobbing. Excuse me. But watch the spunk that she had when she say it, boy. She said, well, her whole chest.
About that. Let's really be clear about that. So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No, because whatever benefits that Black family will benefit that community and society as a whole and the country. Right?
So we clear what we could expect of her. So we can't be mad at her because she told us exactly what she was going to do. So I'm not mad at her. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at AOC or none of them because they let us know what they're going to do. And what we had to do is, this is just my opinion, this is my political opinion, that we need to let them know what we're going to do. Well, if you don't have anything specific in your platform or your plan for me, then don't expect me to see me on Tuesday. I'm busy Tuesday. Anything you want to say to that, Grump? Or should we move to the next clip?
Shouts out to Cook in the comment because her pitch and her voice changed. She sound like one of those them great aunts at a cookout when they be like, let me tell you how to keep a man. You think
I'm gonna put cranberries in my potato salad? No. Like, she went there with him, like, you know what I'm saying, like, no, ain't happening.
Yeah, that's what you right. That's what ruined it right there. Went from the president to the VP immediately.
Right, and they had to put all their muscle behind her just to get her the VP spot. So just in juxtaposition, we're gonna look at 45 Savage now and how he was handled on the on the HBCU. So this is from BET. And it says Trump teases cuts from HBCU funding. Extended their funding out for, you know what I'm saying, where they didn't have to come back every year and beg hat in hand. This is how black people, this is how black entertainment television carried it, you know what I'm saying, to communicate to black people because they felt their slippage on 45 Savage. Let me remove that.
Is cutting HBCU funding. It was all good just a week ago, well, a few months back, when Donald Trump invited 60-plus HBCU presidents to the Oval Office for a photo op.
Now it's a photo op when he does it. Now, when she had the room full of the Divine Nine, it was, you know what I'm saying, all the engagement. Can we hear? Grant? Okay, you muted?
I mute myself, you know.
Okay, no, you
just
fine.
So the sound in the back, yeah. I'm agreeing. I'm just laughing. It's just funny how the strategic propaganda behind things is just hilarious.
And this dude right here, let me be clear. Donald Trump didn't do this. I mean, he did it for political reasons, but he also likes to troll Obama. So anything he can do better than Obama for black people, he was gonna do it so he can troll Obama. Because if people don't know, let's just go back to
let's
just go back here. Let me share this right quick. Obama was about to get sued by the HBCUs. And this is back from July 10th, 2013. This was after the 2012 election where he didn't need the black vote anymore. You know what I'm saying? He was getting real tough with them. And they were threatening to sue him over their funding and the way they would count on Pell Grant and other funding that they were getting. So, I mean, that's just to let you know. So when you see 45 Savage with that eating grin on his face, it was because he knew.
He knew.
Hold on. Make sure it's not playing, is it? Okay. Look, he knew. He was like, gotcha, Barry. He knew. It was like, yeah, buddy. Look, no problem, Stephen.
From ear to ear.
Look, he knew it. It was like, yeah, buddy. I just. And he knew that he extended it out so far, there's nothing the Democrats could come in and do after him. So, you know what I'm saying, as far as making them have to come, he even made mention that, he's like, it's a shame they had to come on here every year and ask. I'm sure there's something else they got to do. So, yeah, he was trolling them, but Ban Deviant, he was trolling him because the way Obama, you know what I'm saying, did him dirty at the correspondent dinner, which we ain't going to get in that tonight, but I'm just saying that he knew what time it was, and hey, that's politics.
It is. I know I just know Obama been punching the air, or, knocking down tables every time he saw stuff like this. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so the troll is real. Master troll 45 Savage. All right, let's continue with this report.
Now it appears as if he wants to cut HBCU funding. In a signing statement on the $1.1 trillion government spending bill, Trump singled out the historically black college and university capital financing program as an example of provisions in the funding bill that allocate benefits on the basis of race, ethnicity, and gender. As the HBCU community began an uproar, representatives of Michigan and Louisiana said this: for a president who pledged to reach out to the African Americans as well as other minorities, this statement is stunningly careless and divisive. However,
So hold on. Now, when he did propose a certain cut, it's stunning and divisive. But when they cut out $43 billion that was supposed to be earmarked for HBCUs, oh, it's not a problem. Oh, technically, they weren't going to give us anything. You see this is what frustrates me with the media. And people wonder why I do what I do. What this does, this leaves people in a cloud, and they don't really get the understanding of what's going on. You're being manipulated. Now, him offering one cut to a plan that he put up himself to do is divisive and you're saying and misleading, but at the same time, when it's done by the Democratic Party, oh, it's not a problem. You know, that's the problem I have with this. You got anything you want to add to this, Grunt? You want to go ahead and continue?
Go ahead, continue, my brother.
United Negro College Fund representative told the Post that we have been assured by the White House that the language is not intended to indicate a policy change, said the spokeswoman. Well, judging by Trump's track record, he may have already planned for the HBCU allocated $20 million to go elsewhere. And as a HBCU alum, I know that the money is well needed and put to great use. Let us know below in our comments section.
So 20 million out of 1 billion. Let's just take everything at face value here. 20 million out of 1 billion compared to 43 million out of 45, 43 billion out of 45 billion. Seriously? I mean, like I said, if we kept the same energy, BET should be roasting Kamala and Joe right now. But no, they can't. They can't. You see what I'm saying? And that's the point. And that's if you can't, then you're controlled.
That's facts. You know, you're right. And we see it with our own eyes. I'm glad this year specifically, even a little bit of last year, but this year we specifically seeing who are controlled, no matter how much they look or how much you may think, from Nick Cannon wilding out to the BET or to your favorite rapper, whatever, or politician, they're controlled. Like how you said that phone ring.
Yeah, and that's the point. So now we can start getting these people up out of the paint to show, hey, you're not really working for us. You control opposition, you know, that's going to try to sell to us what you want us to believe, not represent us to speak to power. So that's the issue. So let's go ahead and let her finish up.
How do you feel about President Donald Trump saying we don't need any HBCU money? Because I'm a little pissed off by it. But
hold on, we don't need any HBCU. That what he said?
No, honestly, I'm surprised how this was considered legal, because if this was not seriously, this is like, you know, public defamation or whatever you want to call it. It's like if this was aimed towards not Chameleonaire, but Kamala, whatever her name is.
You right.
it would have been, it would have been on some you shut down. It would have been like how they did Nick Cannon. It would have been, you know, devastating. That blows my mind right there. I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying, like, keep it fair though.
It's way more money on the table in this issue. I'm just saying, if we're operating solely out of financial gain, not out of anything else, because let's put politics is about securing funding, securing, you're saying, money. You're saying for the causes that you represent. That's why they call it special interest, you know, lobbying, that kind of thing. So if we're talking about securing money, you come after one president for 20 million, and then another president balks on 43 billion. Where's that energy at? Yeah, that's all I want to know. So let's go ahead and let her finish. Oh, sorry about that.
HBCU money, because I'm a little pissed off by it. But I need to know how you feel. Let us know below or on Twitter using the hashtag BT.
There go them hands too, y'all. For the people that know, they know. There go them hands. Y'all know what time it is.
Because I'm a little pissed off about it. You're not pissed off about a goddamn thing, man. Like, and we already know what the brown people, man. All right, Mo, go ahead and go to the next one, man.
Now, like I said, you seeing it. Like I said, you seeing the trend as well. I mean, that's what we had to spot out. But let's let her finish up for the last time.
Breaks. For more, jet over to BT.com and subscribe to BT Network's YouTube channel. I'm Jamila Mustafa at JMedia_, and thanks for taking a
Jamila Mustafa. I wonder what her background is. I'm just curious. You muted, Grunt, you muted.
Yeah, I know I'm muted because I purposely muted myself because I was saying some stuff that was not appropriate. It's like, it was not. You
need your beat button. No,
I needed my beat button, but I ain't had time to get to it. But the hair,
Now I'm just saying Mustafa, I would like to see what her lineage is. Because, I mean, like, I don't know. But let's see. That was BET. Where we going to go? So let's just go to this. I'm going to throw this one out since we run a little bit about time. I don't want to keep you too long. But, yeah, so now this is when Ice Cube came out and was saying, hey, you know what? We need to get some promises made up front.
Oh boy, Fox Soul.
He got that hard body rolls. He called them all kind of coons and sellouts and you know what I'm saying, like everything under the sun. So
yeah, go ahead.
Now this is local news again. So if it reaches down to local news, it's meant to control the masses. Let's listen to how they covered the Ice Cube case when he wanted to listen to both sides and what they had to put on the table.
Days of being bashed for working with President Trump, rapper and actor Ice Cube says that he is setting the record straight. In a new interview, Cube says he never met with Trump and doesn't endorse either presidential candidate. Eyewitness News reporter Amy Powell shows us more.
I'm not playing no more of these games, these political games. We're not part of a team.
Rapper Ice Cube speaking out during an interview on CNN, reacting to harsh criticism about his decision to work with President Trump. The backlash starting when Trump advisor Katrina Pearson posted a tweet expressing her appreciation for Ice Cube's willingness to help the administration develop what is being called the Platinum Plan for Black communities. Critics questioning the rap star's motives, noting that in 2018 he released a track with lyrics calling for the arrest of Donald Trump. Ice Cube says he is not endorsing Trump and is open to working with Joe Biden's campaign.
Both campaigns contacted me. Both campaigns wanted to talk to me about the contract with Black America. One campaign said, we love what you have, but let's really dig into it after the election. And one campaign said, we love what you have.
Something happened? What happened with the sound?
It looked like it has like froze up or something.
Anyways, sound stream, y'all ain't crazy tonight, bro. You messing up my show. All right, so that's just, you're saying that's the pressure they put on Ice Cube, and just for him saying, I want to listen to what both sides had to offer. So let's see, Andre, what'd you say? Someone worked with the sitting president to get something for their people. Right, that's crazy. But that goes to show you that is not allowed. You're supposed to take what's given. Now I want to show you. Now this is this is a comedian. He was a big anti-Trump person, pro-Democrat person, and I think he's of Latino descent. Now listen to how he carried the Platinum Plan for Black people. And just imagine if Black people had came out and said this about anybody else. So now I want to say that it's saying Black people are expected to be the ultimate ally for everybody else. But anytime we say something, we're saying we're out of line or out of pocket. Even if we're saying we try to, advance our own independent causes, as we're seeing what's going on with David Chappelle right now. You see what I'm saying? A lot of Black people are coming for David Chappelle because he's not been the ultimate ally to all communities. So with that said, I want you to watch this. I mean, this is it is what it is.
So we're back. We had tremendous success with the Not a Bribe box for our great American seniors. So we just announced our Platinum Plan. It's our great plan for African Americans, okay? The Platinum Plan. I wanted to call it the Blacknum Plan, but they said just call it Platinum. So I said, okay, we'll be PC. So it's the Platinum Plan.
These your allies, y'all.
So we're mailing African Americans the following: Newports. It's a great thing for African Americans, our great tobacco farmers.
And the irony is Biden was trying to take your Newports away from you, which I don't think nobody should be smoking Newports, you know what I'm saying? But I think everybody should have the freedom to do what they want to do as well. But this is what they think, you know what I'm saying? This is funny to them. This is what they think is in the Platinum Plan, Newports. You want to continue, Grump?
Please continue, please, because I know we at the end, seriously, at the end of the day, we're all humans, but you always, I'm just gonna be the first to say, you always gotta keep like a tiny percent to be like, you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna leave it like that. Like, just please keep this going though.
All right, let's go.
We got, I know you like rap. They call it hip hop. Some people call it hip hop, some people call it.
Did it freeze again?
Yeah, it freeze again. But remember, comedy always have a small amount of truth, you know.
Right. Well, the thing, I don't have a problem with comedy. What I'm just saying is, if a black person came forward and said we're sending burritos and you know what I'm saying, other stuff, and saying it may be racially insensitive to another group, or that have made them come out and apologize. That's why I preface this with David Chappelle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can make black jokes, but when you make a gay joke or a trans joke, oh, they want to shut you down. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? If we all joking, we should all be able to joke, right? I mean, if it's comedy, which I have no problem. I mean, he has his right to do that. I'm just saying, if the shoe was on the other foot, we know how it would be carried. But let me bounce this video out and bring it back in, because we gotta watch this whole video. Hold on.
And while you bounce that out, I'll say this real quick. It went to the actor. Her name was Awkwafina, and I remember it was a while ago. She had did this little interview about, you know, her acting a certain way and all that. And then it was like, can she act like, you know, she's Asian or something? She was like, no, I would not do that. That's like a minstrel show to my, you know, da da da.
Right?
But
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You won't do your own group.
And
it's
how
like
you know about that? Yeah,
it seemed like you would do your group first, but Davy Jones, that was pretty funny right there. He said the string collapsed under the weight of his own cringe. Yeah, it's very cringy. Very cringy. And yeah, we are the laughing stock, and we got to change that. But let's go ahead and let him finish. Grant, anything you want to add before he continues on with his
no, sir.
platinum plan box for black people?
Go ahead.
So we're back. We had tremendous success.
I think we stopped
the platinum plan. So we're mailing African Americans the following: Newports. It's a great thing for African Americans. Are great tobacco farmers. We got, I know you like rap. They call it hip hop. Some people call it hip hop. Some people call it.
Why does it keep stopping there? Hold on, I'm gonna have to go to let me go to the live video. I don't know what's going on here. StreamYard, come on, y'all. I'm trying to rock with y'all. Y'all bear with me. I gotta go get the live video off of YouTube.
Oh, live video off YouTube. That.
I mean you know what I'm saying, the actual. I saved these.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
Yeah, let me go ahead and do this right quick.
You said down a little more RAM.
I bet you everybody streaming tonight on Friday night. It must be a busy night. Cause I got good Wi-Fi, everything. We won't let it stop us though. All right, so he stopped at the Newports. Let's continue.
Americans are great tobacco farmers. We got, I know you like rap. They call it hip hop. Some people call it hip hop. Some people call it rap. I call it nonsense, but we're including a great rap album. Kid Rock, one of the great rap people. Obviously, we got some bling. So here's some Trump bling. It's gold. It's gold plastic. And then we got, of course, a scratch off. You can win. You can be sort of, look at the Trump economy giving great
scratch off. This is what we are. Like I said, if another group would have came out saying we put in this
enchiladas,
yeah, enchiladas and
you know
what I'm saying, whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm a terrible racist. I can't think of nothing. You know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, but like just. On that level, you know what I'm saying, it would have been like, oh no, you gotta apologize ASAP. But nah, scratch offs and Newports. Let's continue with his comedy.
Games, it's a beautiful thing. And then we get to the tough stuff, okay? You gotta have grape soda. You're gonna get thirsty. You wanna have.
Go ahead, Gross.
I'm saying he's comedy. It is what it is.
Grape soda. Okay. We Newport, grape soda, and scratch off. Okay. All right.
Delicious grape soda. And then if you're into partying, I've heard that Hennessy, and that's Ben Carson, one of my favorite blacks. He's told me Hennessy helps him get to sleep. So, here it is. Instead of NyQuil, even better. And a book people told me to give, it's some guy, Terrence Coates. He wrote a book. People like it. He's black, so there you go. And then, of course, everybody gets a Trump bear from the Trump store. But this one, for your hat, okay? I know the blacks like to put the sticker on the hat. So Trump bear is going to come with a sticker for your African-American hat.
And what's crazy is his racism is showing through by trying to doing satire. That's the crazy. I'm saying, but then they're saying these are allies. Right, right, Andrew. Where's the apology at? Because, like I said, and all I'm doing is I have no problem with his comedy, and I believe he should be able to allow to do his comedy. But if we're going to use the same standard, this is my big thing. If we're going to use the same standard that David Chappelle is being judged under, with oh, you're being insensitive to this community. Why can't that be a two-way street? When somebody was making this to say, you know what, we're going to send something to the trans people, so let's put some hormone blockers in there, and let's put some, whatever else in some eyeliner and some, and these other things, that could be offensive to trans people in there. He would himself would have had to apologize immediately. But now it's okay. It's okay. It's okay for, right. And it's not even funny, right? It's not even funny. But what I'm just saying is he has his right to his comedy, because we don't want to be what we're trying to combat. Everybody should be able to everybody should be able to make jokes. Everybody should be made poke fun at. If that's equality, you know what I'm saying?
True.
The problem is when you can't. It only goes one way. And even for himself, like I said, if he said I'm gonna put hormone blockers in here and whatever else, whatever trans people need or gay people need, I'm gonna put some KY in here, that kind of thing, or that kind of stuff. It'd be like, oh, right. You said, girl, I see you laugh and shake your head because you know what. Girl had to go on camera when I said that. I'm sorry, girl. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to get you banned. But I'm just saying, y'all know how it would have went. It'd be like, shut him down. So I'm just let's go ahead and let him wrap up right quick.
And he just goes in the box and, he just humps everything because he's happy at the great platinum box. Box for blacks. It's the box for blacks. We're doing great things. Sleepy Joe doesn't have box.
All right, so that's it. That's it with that class. Like I said, I have no problem with his comedy. I just want comedy to be equal. That's all. That's my little Dave Chappelle rant. You know what I'm saying? Just on that point. Oh, somebody said, who is my co-host? Oh, this is Young Grump, aka Young Rogan. Grump, you want to reintroduce yourself? It's kind of late, but you know what I'm saying, just to let people know that may have joined late, where they can find you at, your Cash App, those kind of things, if they want to donate as well.
Yeah, so about to say I'm Young Grump. My YouTube channel is Young Grump. We currently doing nonverbal cues and psychological analysis and human behavior on movies or real live events. And shouts out to Moe Factz for being one of my mentors. And I don't have the right memory of my Cash App thing, but if you go to my channel, it's all over there though. I think it's Terrence LaShawn or something. But
that's how you spell his channel name, Young Grump.
Yeah,
you gotta remember how you're saying. You might need to get a link. I found a link tree that I ain't making no money by advertising for him, but I found it be helpful, especially on Instagram where you have a bunch of links. You can nest them under one link and put it in your Instagram, and people can find you that way. And you can find mine at the top of the. You can find mine at the top of the pinned to the top of the chat. That's my link tree, and it takes you to all the ways you can donate, my website, social medias, and everything like that. So, all right. So where we at? I'm saying we at one. Let's go ahead and get out of here in like about 2:30, under 2:30. Yeah, we've kind of been dragging. Go ahead.
So I say this. I had to talk to you in the back end about the link tree thing, but I say this for the Hispanics or for the whites and the other races. It's like with that was comedy, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was funny, but other people, it don't matter, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is, though, I ain't gonna use him and generalize the whole, you know, population of them, you know what I'm saying? Because I know there are some Hispanics, there are some whites who don't even rock with stuff like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Of course, no, what I'm saying is this, and we're
Yes,
not
sir.
saying we don't never do all or none or that kind of thing. My point is this. If the shoe was on the other foot, it wouldn't be allowed to stand. That's my point. Because we've seen so many times when black people have been called to task with communities that we're supposed to be allies with. If somebody steps out of line, it's like, oh, you need to apologize. Oh, you need to apologize to the Asians. Oh, you need to apologize to the Hispanics. Oh, you need to apologize to the LGBT. Oh, you know what I'm saying? It's just constantly that. But when it's when, like you were saying before, when you have these things like AAVE, nobody apologizes. When you have these things like David Chappelle comedy, but if you have people that have these parodies of what black people are like, what black people do, what black people say, you know what I'm saying, nobody says anything. So I'm just saying we need to have equality in the sense of we can all joke or nobody can joke. I would prefer we all can joke. I think we should all be allowed to, you know what I'm saying, to like just roast each other. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like, it is what it is. Now that's true equality in my book.
And then on top of that, you could actually, with him specifically, you could see that he's using his perspective and his opinion on, you know, our people through that satire comedy. You could kind of feel the essence of it. But for others, you know what I'm saying? Like you could just feel it because this comedy is, you could tell if it's sincere and you could tell if it's like, oh, I'm gonna just feed all of what I'm feeling about this specific ethnic group and I'm gonna just put it through comedy. You kind of get what I'm going at?
Right. Because if somebody, and I know I'm belaboring this point, but I just want to make it clear. If somebody says, I'm putting burritos and enchiladas and Coronas into a box and send it to Mexican people or Hispanic people, it'd have been outraged and you would have had to come submit an apology, even though it was comedy. That's my point. And like I said, I want everybody to be able to joke with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Whoever the best. And this is why Deep Impressions is the man, because he know your Cash App better than you do, Grump. Look,
shouts out. Yeah, I'm about to say
$ Terrence LaShawn is the Cash App if you like to show value to
appreciate that
to young Grump. So all right, so let's go ahead and let's jump the line a little bit and get to the real reason, because everybody was out here going all ham for Kamala and Joe Biden, and we saw this. And to prove that, everybody went strolling.
Some friendly competition between sororities, but something and someone have pulled members of the historically black sororities together for an online campaign that's now gone viral. It's the election and Vice Presidential candidate Kamala Harris, who's a member of one of those organizations. Jennifer Bellamy joins us now with a look at how Atlanta is playing a really big role in all of this political action.
Yeah, Aisha, for those who are not familiar with Black Greek organizations, when you join, whether it's in college or sometime after, it's a lifetime commitment, and the work and service don't stop after graduation. That's why one woman came up with an idea to get people moving, to get people politically active, and to bring people together.
I accept your nomination for Vice President of the United States of America.
It started with a moment, the selection of California Senator Kamala Harris as a Democratic vice presidential nominee. Harris spoke of her biological family, but also of her chosen family, her sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha, or AKA, and other historically black Greek organizations known as the Divine Nine.
Family is my beloved Alpha Kappa Alpha, our Divine Nine, and my HBCU brothers and sisters.
Maisha Land, another member of AKA, wanted to build on that historic moment with the tradition of strolling. So what is that exactly? Members of a Divine Nine organization form a line and move forward using the same dance or motions, hence stroll to the polls.
It was only supposed to be 4 of us.
And the irony of it is they get in formation and they use the same movements to get to a place. So the irony of that is in representation or the you know what I'm saying, the analogy of them being, you know what I'm saying, of moving the same way. That's what I find interesting, is that the stroll to the polls situation. But she said there only supposed to be 4 of them.
Right? 4 or 5 of us. It grew into over 20 women because people were just so excited to participate.
Land owns a Gems of Georgia dance studio in Southwest Atlanta and united her own sorority sisters along with members of Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, and Sigma Gamma Rho in what has become a viral series of images and videos online. People across the country, including celebrities, have shared it. It was even mentioned on The View, a reaction Land didn't expect.
Never in a million years would I have ever thought that this would be a banner, a flagship for voting.
While the Divine Nine
We going to The View too. We going to The View. We getting there, folks.
Don't support individual political figures. They have always cultivated political engagement as nonprofits, and their members play a huge role in U.S. elections. The Center for American Progress said Black women are one of the most active voting blocs in the United States, and recently Black women were credited with saving Joe Biden's presidential hopes, carrying him to a momentous win in the South Carolina primary. Land says the success of the Stroll to the Polls campaign shows unity among Greek sororities and the excitement of getting involved in the political process, especially among Black women.
We can get the job done, and it shows that Black women are always engaged. That culminates into something fantastic for our country, for our family, for our community.
And Maisha tells me the murals selected to be featured from across Atlanta are also the works of Black women. So a lot of shouting out going on there. And full disclosure, I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta, and Aisha,
a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. And
there you go. That's all you need to know. Most of the people in the media,
programming.
Most of the people in the media are hand selected to keep, you know what I'm saying, to keep the narrative going. But go ahead. Grant, you were saying something.
Man, what's up with all this symbol dancing ish, man? Like, that thing be crazy, man. It's like you gotta stand on top of beds and tables and stuff. Not just for the women, for the men too, though. It's like, I remember, what was that place called? That had got bombed many years ago, where it was like, dominantly Black.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the massacre. It starts with a T.
With Tuskegee? No,
it was something else. It was, I can't believe
Say it again.
It starts with T. It was like a bombing that they did in
Tulsa.
Yeah, that's what it was, Tulsa. So it's like, I remember like last year I saw one of these politician Black ladies, they was dancing over there. And I'm just like, what's up with this? Like, what does this mean? You know what I'm saying, Mo?
You saw it with the cha-cha slide and the Cupid shuffle. It's the same thing. And I even covered that in my show, that, you know what I'm saying, they rolled out the Cupid shuffle. Somebody said it in the chat, mass formation. That's what it is. And if you really think about it, look at Shrek, the movie Shrek with the Pied Piper. You know what I'm saying? He got everybody to move in the same way. You know what I'm saying? He would turn his little flute to what was Shrek called? A daggone
ogre.
Ogre, yeah, he would switch to the ogre, get the plan, and everybody fall right in line. You know what I'm saying? That's the way it is, and this is how they control it at the top. You know what I'm saying? They control the talking heads. I mean, if you start pulling the foul on all these people, you know what I'm saying? It would be you wouldn't be shocked, but you know what I'm saying? You would just be it would be quite telling how many are controlled, and it's not controlled in the sense that everybody gets a boule call, but it's like out of fear of being the outlier. It's like, I don't want to be socially ostracized, so I'm going to fall in line. And like she was saying, well, we don't support one political candidate, but trust me, they have their candidates, because I even had where it was Benjamin Crump, we were saying, was basically giving the nomination from the Divine Nine over to Kamala Harris. I covered that in the show before. So, I mean, this is no surprise, but I just want to show that the stroll into the poll, and they brought up The View. So The View is Kamala friendly because her sister, her AKA sister, Sunny Holston, is a big, you know what I'm saying, is a one of the ladies of The View. And let's get into that right quick. I had to bring it up now. Come on, man. Y'all messing up all my flow. Here we go.
In the media is a hot topic, shockingly, after White House Washington Post reporter Chelsea Janes covered Senator Kamala Harris's speech at Harris's alma mater at Howard University. Now, the speech was attended by the AKA sorority that Harris pledged in college, who gave her their trademark ski-wee call. And it prompted the reporter to tweet, members of her Howard sorority are in the room, and screeched when she mentioned her time there. Did not expect to hear screeches there.
Oh, they were pissed when she called it screeches. They were pissed. Now, Pete, how they get her up out of the paint?
She was immediately kind of called out on social media for not knowing about the ski-wee. So, question is, was she the right person to cover the event? Do you do your homework if you know that? And apparently both folks she went
First
there.
of all women talking at all are screeching to some people in the media. If we just open up our mouths, we're screeching and hysterical. So that I would like to just change coming out the gate. We were talking about in the meeting that I have always wanted journalists for every network and publication to have a gun beat, to have someone who actually understands guns when, God forbid, a shooting happens or anything with gun legislation happens, people who actually understand the difference between, I don't know, an assault rifle and a semi-assault rifle. So I don't have a problem with diversity with journalists in general. I think everybody got everything wrong in 2016, and having a whole new swath of journalists coming in is a good idea.
I mean, to put it into context, right, I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha. Today is...
So she boule. You see, she got the sweatshirt on.
I already know the vibes of it. I already know.
Oh, it's gonna get better. I'm going somewhere with this. Y'all hold on. I ain't gonna play this whole clip. I just want y'all to let you hear the boule speaking and how she carried water for Kamala. You know what I'm saying, to get her. Even be taken considered, even for her to be considered a serious candidate.
It's our Founders Day. That's why I'm wearing a sweatshirt that says 1908.
I thought that was the year you were born for a second.
Yeah, no, 1908 is when we were founded. Today is our Founders Day. We were founded 111 years ago. We're the first black sorority that was founded. That was not a great one because my voice is...
Hold on, but then Whoopi says it's a screech. Even though it's, you know what I'm saying, it's rude to say it, then look, watch. She gonna say, do you do the screech? Watch, and there's no blowback.
We were founded, today is our Founders Day. We were founded 111 years ago. We're the first black sorority that was founded. That was not a great one because my voice is...
TD in the house.
And what was shocking to me was if you are the reporter following Kamala Harris, then at Howard University, where our sorority was founded, you should know that she's a member. You should know that that is our sorority call.
She knew that, right?
Pink and green.
She did know that.
Well, she must not have.
I thought you said she just didn't know the screech.
I don't know. She said members of her sorority. I mean, you would think...
Ski-wee.
Yes, ski-wee is our call.
I could see where you might not know that little detail. I mean, not every reporter knows every single thing.
But the entire room is doing it.
Now look.
Oh,
You heard the crack. Go ahead, Grunt. I'm gonna fall back. Go ahead.
Bro, I'm just gonna say this right here. That was that was some sound effects they put in right there with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? That was sound effects right there off rip.
No, because she didn't know one thing. It's like, how
it's not her fault.
No, you gotta look it through. How dare you not know everything about our new queen to be? That's how they looking at it, like, how dare you not know? This is the elitism that we're dealing with. This is the you know, I mean, they call themselves the Divine Nine, the talented 10th. You know what I'm saying? They think they're exalted. And we're here to say, I'm not speaking for you, but people like me are here to say, if you're not doing the damn job, get out the way. If you're not securing the $43 billion, get out the way. What good is you can step and do all these silly ass calls? You know what I'm saying? You there for a reason. And if you're not getting the job done, then you got to get out of there. And that's just off cold-blooded politics. That's how lobbyists move. If you're not securing the bag, then you need to get the hell up out the paint. That's just how politics work.
I feel you. I understand now. Yep, that's true.
and shout out to my brother TD Hip Hop Media. Hey, y'all go check out his video on this topic. I posted in the link, and I'll post it again before I leave. He gets into the more nuts and bolts of the, of the money, but we're getting more into the social and the media narrative behind it. But let's let Sonny go ahead and finish.
I would remember just to try to, I mean, this is something that I think you should know. Michelle Obama is an AKA. I mean, this is.
There it is. Shouts out to AO. How is it all these people fall into these little groups? It's no diversity of thought at the top.
No, it's not. I didn't even know Michelle was an AKA. So I mean, like, what the heck? I mean, she trying to set a black and white thing with this right here, because obviously that's not working. Like,
that's what she's trying to say. That it's kind of racist that reporter didn't know. That's what she's trying to do. All right, let's continue.
It's not rocket science. And the interesting thing is, and the reason there is an AKA is because black women weren't allowed to join white sororities in 1908. So it was.
And dark-skinned women weren't allowed to join black sororities in 1908. If you want to carry it like that.
I'm glad you peeped that out too. And you see her tone switch too. You see her tone? Yeah, it's like she gonna try to talk to her like a damn, like she the elder to her, trying to like school her. And dark skinned, you're right, man. Like that shit.
I mean, dark skinned women wasn't even allowed to go to HBCUs in 1908 unless they had rich fathers, rich fathers.
Shouts out to Deep Impressions. You know about that too. Heavily.
So I'm just saying, like, I mean, don't play them games. You know what I'm saying? That's bull crap. But let's let her wrap up, and we got some other clips to get to before we get up out of here.
A matter
in
of
1961,
necessity.
I wasn't allowed to join a Jewish sorority. I wasn't allowed to join other sororities. They kept me out of many sororities.
Well, right, but the point of this is that the question is, do you have to be a black reporter to report this story, given that this young lady apparently didn't know that Skiwi was.
You have to be a reporter that does her job.
An informed reporter. I don't know if the color matters.
An informed.
And they, like I said, they just go around this circle jerk. You know what I'm saying? You got to, I couldn't do this and I couldn't do that and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't understand how she would say she couldn't join a Jewish and she was Jewish. It was a Jew. I don't understand that. I didn't. She got so caught up in the fervor that she wouldn't even make sense. And where I'm going with this is this what happened here. This is how far they go to take up for their own. This story hit the news a little while ago, and it had to do with The View and Kamala Harris. And check out what happened here.
So, since this is going to be a major news story any minute now, what happened is that Sonny and Anna both apparently tested positive for COVID. No matter how hard we try, these things happen. They probably have a breakthrough case, and they'll be okay, I'm sure, because they're both vaccinated up the wazoo, a lot of vaccines. So,
oh, how convenient. So let me set this up. Minutes before Kamala Harris supposed to come on and talk, this is right around the time when the whole Haitian border thing was going on. And you got to remember, Kamala Harris was put in charge of the border. She was put in, as vice president, she was put in charge of the border. Her buddy, the AKA Sonny Halston and Anna Navarro, mysteriously comes up with these last minute positive tests. Isn't that quite convenient?
Yeah, it's kind of, not to go off topic, but it's like when that heat, like with the Adam No Jumper thing, like his sidekick was a black person. They brought those white twins up in there and they was using the N-word, and he just decided to be sick out of work. Mm-hmm. Same with this right here. So, it's like, the COVID hit, they don't want that pressure. They ain't want to come outside.
And let's make it about the story and not about what we were supposed to be talking about the topic. Right, I mean, the conversation became more about them being sick than you're saying the current events that were going on. So to me, this is just more speculation alert. I think this was staged with her sorority sister, like, hey, get me out. You know what I'm saying? I'm in hot water right now. I don't really want to come up here and talk about, Haiti. I don't really want to talk about what everything that's going on is failing. So I'm saying, give me some cover fire. And I think this was the cover fire. All right, let's go.
And the vice president is being prepped for her arrival, right? Yep. They cleaned the table, they did the hands, everybody's getting all cleaned up, and she'll be out here in a second. So in the meantime, until she gets out here, maybe the audience would like to participate in the show. Does it? All right. So here's how, what I mean by that is, does anyone have a good question to ask Sarah or me?
So now they got the audience asking questions. Let's go fast forward a little bit.
What do you give?
No, finish your.
I give the advice of be a is on The View, walking off the stage. This one, okay.
All right, so I mean they go on. They can't come back on set, and you know what I'm saying, and then they bring Kamala on, and she's in on a sound stage somewhere. She might not even have been in the building. And let me remove this right quick and get to TD's comment. He said this was staged. Rizza Islam has been in the ABC building before, and he said you can't even enter the building without a negative C19 test. So all of this was staged. It's mighty convenient. Like I said, it just was mighty convenient. And then, of course, how it winds up is this right here.
The View returned on Monday with an update on Anna Navarro and Sunny Hostin after the two co-hosts tested positive for the coronavirus on Friday, ahead of their highly anticipated interview with Vice President Kamala Harris.
We were all given numerous COVID tests. I mean, so many.
My nostrils are so sensitive.
It's like up your nose with a rubber hose.
Yeah.
Throughout the weekend, this was happening too, and I am thrilled to report that Sunny and Anna's Friday results turned out to be false positives, and everyone is safe.
Oh, false positive. How convenient. Oh, this.
Bro, I don't even. That's why I don't even do this TV ish no more. For real, like real talk. Like that's like insulting right there on the intelligence of the watchers. You know, this is like equivalent to Love and Hip Hop. But
how dumb do they think we are? And how dumb do they think you all are to think, oh, you've been tested. One false positive, one positive comes back. You didn't get another follow-up positive? I mean, you didn't get, what? How does that work? If it's negative, then why do you need to test after test after test? None of this makes any sense, but the point I'm making is this is how these Boulay sisters look out for each other. And it just goes to show you that you're not going to get the real story about the $43 billion. You're not going to get the real story about what's going on in Haiti. You're not going to get the real story about anything because the media is just flooded with these Boulay sisters and brothers, and they cape for each other, even to the point of pulling stunts like this. You have the floor, Grump.
I just say like that. You said it perfectly. And this, I'm just go ahead and take a little detour real quick. I want to speak about that Ice Cube situation with Fox Soul, with those women had, interrogated him and tried to do a public lynch on him. Mm-hmm. That right there was beyond appalling and traumatizing. Like that right there is unacceptable right there. Because that right there is going to have other individuals who have the capability of making a change or doing something in the footsteps of Ice Cube, but they'd be discouraged by it because they see how he was ridiculed and interrogated for doing something like he committed a crime. So once again, that thing they did to Ice Cube right there, that was disgusting. I can't even imagine the words to explain how disappointed I was with that situation. I'm not speaking for the whole.
He did commit a crime. It's a thought crime. Anytime you step outside of what the herd is expected to think, you know what I'm saying? It's a thought crime. And you're seeing it happens every time. When, like I said, we're gonna talk about the David Chappelle thing on another show, but just, saying, to bring it up just as what you're saying. You can say the N-word all you want. You could talk about black men killing black men all you want, but you make one joke about the wrong crowd, and it is a thought crime. It's a thought, you're saying they had to bring you back in the line. And that's what you saw there. And you see the powers that be here, that they're not mad. They don't care about, at the end of the day, what helps everybody. It's about what helps themselves. So Grunt, I appreciate you saying you coming and rocking out with me tonight. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything else you would like to say before we wrap up here? I don't want to keep people too long here.
Nah, I just appreciate you for letting me come on your platform. It's very crazy. I learned so much this evening, especially about that stunt they did on The View right there, and about the AKA or the sequel, whatever you want to call it. I was unaware of that, and you know, it just that's all I gotta say. That's just mind blowing right there.
Well, brother, I enjoy anytime me and you can chop it up, it's especially online because we always talk offline. And I appreciate everybody that came out tonight to spend their Friday night with us, because this is how you beat the mainstream media, is that you go and spend your time on, you know what I'm saying, on independent media. And what you did tonight was you took an hour and 40 minutes of your time and then spend it watching ABC or NBC or CBS or Fox or all these big conglomerates, which is really controlled by a handful of people. You know, so this is how we win. And to say that, excuse me for clearing my throat on the mic, but to say that we know, if you found value in this, and right on time, Blunder Bliss, if you found value in this, you had to show it back. Deep Impression, can you post Grump's Cash App one more time up here so people can see it? And you can find mine right on top of the in the live chat. This is, you had show value back. If you found value in this, show value back. And it necessary, I mean, it doesn't always have to be monetarily. It could be what Deep Impressions is doing. It could be coming here, engaging in there it is. Thank you, sir. And like I said, Deep Impressions. And you know what? When he's not here, his value is missed. That's how you know it's valuable, is because it's missed when it's not here. And we appreciate everything you do and everybody else as well. This, like I said, this is a value for value platform. Please show love if you can. If nothing else, give us a like, a comment, go over, subscribe to Young Grump's channel. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there's a lot of people that may not be subscribed that's in here tonight, but after tonight, you should be subscribed, because this is a talented young man. And, you know, I'm looking forward to do many great things with him, as well as many of the great people that's in the live chat as well. TD, I don't know if Rob is still around. We're, like I said, we're building our own network of positive content. We don't do a bunch of crazy talk. We don't do a bunch of, you know what I'm saying, just getting up here. We try to put on a great quality show, which StreamYard wouldn't allow us to do that tonight. But we're big on quality as well. Go check out the young man's content. It's very thought-provoking, and you know, and it's worth the value in return. So please go subscribe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Light up your social media with sharing. This is how we grow. I'll turn it over to you for your last thoughts and words, Grump, and we'll get up out of here.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Definitely the intellectual property. That is, like I said, I learned a lot from this show that you did. Shouts out to Deep Impressions for doing the value for value, and on the back end for hitting me up and educating me on he was the one who introduced me to the 1908 and about the dark skin and, you know, the light. You know, I wasn't unaware about, you know, dark skin not being able to join those type of, you know, boule groups.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to him on the back end, Deep Impressions, for that. That was very, you know, educational. That's all.
He's very helpful brother, very helpful. And like, it's a lot of you out here, and like I said, a lot of the day one people, a lot of the people that show up for every live chat. You know, if I didn't get to speak the chances to you, we kind of do that in the first 10 minutes. If I see you coming in, I try to acknowledge you on, I'm saying, as we move along. But with that said, thank you again, Grump, for joining us. And as I always say, pay attention to everything, and the truth will reveal itself. Good night.